What is going on, everybody? It is episode 424 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. We are not even a minute in, and Brett is already fed up.
Just a freaking studio full of broads, and I'm just exhausted.
It's really flaring up your misogyny, and I don't appreciate it. We have two female guests in the studio. Please make them comfortable. Firstly, Sarah, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just another day at Casper Coffee, caspercoffee.com.
And RIP to Roberto Jr.
So it's
crazy things
to a
happening
legend
every day.
Yeah. RIP to Roberto Jr. We lost a good one yesterday. His father has since replaced him. In his honor, please go ahead and go to, it's actually casper.com, not Casper Coffee, and order a bag of Rise with Roberto Jr. in his memory.
Perfect. And to my left, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Kara. I answer your emails on timcast.com.
Have you started to get like personalized emails saying
Not
like
yet.
You should people? So if you guys have complaints, you now have a face to anthropomorphize with your anger
They're
here
gonna
at
start.
Timcast.
No, please be
So
nice.
be kind. Be
Look at that
kind.
face. Come
As
on.
those people
Send any
say.
of your questions or concerns about what we talk about on this show to that
To me.
email.
Any and all complaints about anything in life, really.
Yeah.
Send them to Kara.
Part therapist.
We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Megan Fox she's a poet now. She's a poet, and she did know it. She's written a book in which she talks about how she is excising the weight of the sins of men, which when you read the name of this book, when we'll get to it, it sounds like an emo album from the 90s.
I don't believe for a second that
2000s.
Megan Fox uses the word excising.
She probably does.
I think
You're the one who said she uses big words.
I could see her.
Does she
drinks
like
blood.
play Wordle and like try to employ one of those words in her daily life.
And every time she does it, she's like, I'm hot and smart.
I hope it's not
long
sporadically.
Wait, what was the word she used last week?
Miserly.
Miserly? It's like, you're such a freaking dork. Just because you're hot doesn't mean you're not a freaking dweeb. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Tory Lanez, who has received 10 years in prison for the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion.
Go!
Mary's very excited about that. He has blamed, well, first of all, he hasn't taken responsibility for the shooting. He says, look, if I did it, this is what happened.
Trauma.
He says it was due to childhood trauma and alcoholism. Bro, I feel you. I'm free Tory
Cop
Lanez.
out.
Free Tory Lanez all day. So we're talking about that. We're going to talk about Fousey. This story's ridiculous.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this streamer. His name is FouseyTube. I've been aware of him as a lol cow on the platform for a very long time, but he's now been accused of exploiting a woman who is a victim of trafficking on his live stream. And he joined the Mile High Club. Let's just
No, he did not. Words matter, meanings matter. Having sex in an airport bathroom is not the same thing as having sex on a bathroom in a plane.
Well, later on in the show. Okay?
Also, Bella Hadid got Lyme disease. People are saying she's faking it, I guess.
I kind of agree. Why do I always hear about celebrities having Lyme disease and not normal people?
Does nobody does no normal person get Lyme disease?
You hear about it mostly from a bunch of celebrities claiming specifically that they have chronic Lyme disease, which is not a condition that the medical field takes seriously. Now listen, I'm not, believe the science. I don't really care about the medical field's opinions on a lot of things, but it seems fishy.
All right, so we're going to talk about that, but before we get started, guys, would you hit the like button on this video, please, right there, down in the corner. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done that already. Thank you very much. And share this live stream as well as other segments with your friends. Get other people to join us here and watch me have to sit through this episode with all of these women. No. All right. Also, remember, all Super Chats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion. We will read them right then and there. So if you have questions and concerns that can't wait to send Kara in an email,
if you have misogynist remarks that just can't wait and you need them read right now, $20 and over.
If you have something extremely hateful you want to say towards women, this is the day to do it. I'm just saying, your odds of offending someone are way higher today than they would be any other day. Be kind, as they say on really mean people's social medias. They say be kind. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? So, first things first, Taylor Swift fans have discovered the meaning of getting into a concert without tickets. They're very, very smart. They're just bribing security now. That's clever.
Thrifty Swifties.
They're very.
I respect that.
TMZ is always so clever with the wordplay.
They probably have somebody whose job it is to come up with the titles.
Yeah, and they're definitely paid like 7-figure salary.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So we have direct knowledge of a handful of fans who've gotten in without tickets, who bribed security guards with cash. These fans make it past security checkpoints and to the ticketing agent. On Monday night, we know 2 fans got in at a mere $60 a piece. Another paid $100 to get into one of the shows last week.
That's so cheap.
And they posted videos of like their view in the concert, and it's not a bad one at all.
Yeah.
There are people paying for more. People paying for more expensive tickets who are in the nosebleeds or who are behind the stage where you cannot see anything.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're not that far away.
That's pretty good. And $100 is nothing considering the price of the tickets is very, very expensive.
These Swifties are just learning how the world works.
Yeah. Well,
they're getting street smart.
They're all going to end up working for Fortune 500 companies that pay off the government one day. It's going to be very, very smart.
Taylor's going to be so proud of them.
She will be. She'll be great. It'll be great. Mary, you said you didn't like this middle outfit here.
It's not my favorite. The one where she's wearing the t-shirt and short shorts.
Because her legs are...
I don't know. It's just a little awkward.
I didn't see the pants or the shorts.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I've had other criticisms of Taylor's concert wardrobe choices because she loves wearing these granny swimsuits.
They all wear the granny swimsuits.
The bejeweled granny swimsuits. It's just like, I know it's easy for her to perform in that, but I don't think it looks good. But you could add a skirt on it and it would just look so much better.
Yeah, but how long are her eyelashes? That's the real question.
That's all we care about.
How long are her
She has
eyelashes?
some long lashes.
She does.
There you go.
You just like Taylor Swift because she has such long, luscious
That's
eyelashes.
exactly what it is. I look at her, I'm like, damn. Those eyelashes are sexy. It's the first thing I do. It's the first thing I do. All right, guys. So you know what? Next time you need to get into a concert, I'm not condoning this, but it seems that TMZ is saying what you could do is you could bribe a security guard. They're apparently very cheap to bribe. All right.
Yesterday, you guys asked us to explain what the situation is. What's the beef between H3H3 and XQC? And at the time, I had no idea. I just saw it on my timeline and scrolled past. But apparently, they were having a debate about copyright use.
It's the most libertarian thing ever to hear people arguing about copyright and
Sounds
and
absolutely
infringement.
riveting, folks. I was locked in.
Like even me, who's like, you know, very, very, very like. I agree with a lot of libertarian principles. When they start talking about intellectual property, I'm like, you freaking dweeb.
I'm gonna like swirly you.
Like I want Ron,
Shove you in a locker.
I want Ron Paul to throw you in a locker.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Basically, XQC and Hassan Piker and other streamers have been accused of unfairly stealing people's work by making like 2-hour-long reaction videos to someone's video that took them like a year to make. And they were getting called out for this. Ethan Klein decided to debate him about it, and it descended into chaos. And XQC ended up stepping away from his gaming chair and crawling around on the floor like a worm. So
here's the video.
Let's take a look.
Full screen cam, do the fucking worm.
Do
then watch
that.
your prime,
Bro,
then watch your
do
prime
it for
content.
a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, he's crying in the corner. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man.
It's not
It's
even the worm.
content, at least.
Right. I take issue with the
do
fact that he
bro.
called that
Like,
the worm. That's not the worm.
Dude, do
I thought
a
you fucking
week.
Worm
love
takes
it, man.
more
Bro,
talent.
This is the most
Yeah.
studied done in the
Great.
past fucking 4 years, bitch.
It's awesome. Do a
People
And then afterwards, Ethan Klein posted a bunch of screenshots of their DMs where XQC sent him a picture of his wristwatch, which cost $450,000.
There's the watch right there.
He said, "Don't forget, I got your whole house on my wrist." Kissy emoji.
It's like the most unmanly thing I've
Yeah,
ever
it's
seen.
not a
It's a very ugly watch as well, if you look at it closely.
That's the most
doesn't
Money
have a girl.
cannot buy you taste.
Yeah.
And then
Bro, like every dude, do your friends a favor. Check the homies. Check their recently used emojis, and if there's a kissy face emoji on there, slap your boy.
yeah.
Like I'm not saying slap him. I'm kidding. Don't slap.
Or the one that's like the pouty emoji with like the sparkling eyes.
It's it's not good. It's not good.
And then people posted literal spaghetti on their wrists.
I
have
don't
that
think
here.
Twitch streamers are like the manliest people out there. I'm pretty sure their demographic is like 13-year-old girls, if I had to guess. But
I don't know. I think it's like mostly teenage boys that watch these Twitch streamers.
It's guys that
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
Twitch, yeah. That's why hot tub streamers are so popular.
And why Kai Cenat is able to get thousands of people to show up in New York for his giveaway. It was
for
like
a PS5? Is that
he
what
was
it
giving away PS5s, gaming chairs, gift cards. He didn't actually end up giving anybody anything, but that was the plan. He was gonna do like a miracle, like in the Bible. You've been reading the Bible.
Yes, I have
read
been.
this one, where you do the multiplication of the loaves and the fishes. He was gonna do that with PS5s.
Okay.
Everyone was getting a PS5.
Oh.
Oh, also, Mary, you sent me this. First we had Astro Boy boots. Now we've
yeah.
got these monstrosities.
Big yellow Crocs.
So what's the point of
the
having
next
you? It's not
big
like you
thing.
can. It's not like you can actually put them in. Like they're in sport mode right now. You can't actually put them in the other mode because it's can't
Right,
get around
but
the
they
top.
still come with the strap on the back.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's sort of like how
It's for style.
whales still have legs. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Sort of like that. But I don't know. I kind of like them. Paris Hilton wore them. She was modeling them on the website.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's too much for me. I like Paris Hilton, but I'm like, come on. You're supposed to be a fashion icon. I don't know about this.
I
think these are great.
$450.
I thought she transitioned from being a fashion icon to being like a business icon. Now she kind of did like a Kardashian where she's like, I'm like the successful business person. Like, well, you inherited a successful business. I'm like, I'm not putting down the work. I'm just saying like it's not like you built the Hilton hotels from scratch. Young lady. That's not accurate. There's a $20 one there from Gavitron, or at least it's $27.99, which I believe comes out to
Canada.
America to $20
Brett,
in England.
you don't send your homies a kissy face emoji?
I do not, and I'm also on the wrong screen there. Sorry about that, guys. I don't send the bros that emoji, and that's a different one.
That
earlier
would be a faux pas.
Then like
news to me.
you know.
You don't just cuddle your bros? Just bros broing out?
Depends, Bryn. Depends. I fixed it, guys. We can see Kara now. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
So yeah, we'll get you some Astro Boy boots and some like mustard yellow Croc boots as well.
I don't like Crocs in general, but I would get the red boots.
Yeah.
I think they're cute.
They're good.
To each their own.
I would not wear them, but that's just me. Oh, Mary also wanted to complain and yell about Steph Curry having fun.
Oh, okay. Now I'm the bad guy?
No, this is hilarious.
Steph Curry showed up to a Paramore concert and got to go on stage during the Bridge of Misery business and sang to the audience. Haley Williams said, "From the moment that Steph gets the mic, this is no longer a Paramore show. This is a Steph Curry show." So while the strikes are still going on, we're not subject to all of the cringe skits that Jimmy Fallon was going to do with Millie Bobby Brown, but we still have to deal with cringe shit like this. I just can't do it anymore. It's wearing me down.
It shows.
It's really bad for morale.
It shows the age of he's talking about his wife of 10 years. And
they said they listened to Paramore on their first date. I don't believe you for a second.
Wait,
Sounds
how old is
made
Steph
up.
Curry?
he can't be older than he's got to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
But it just shows the age of Paramore. There you go.
Yeah.
She's old now.
And now
She's not fun.
she's performing Misery Business again after the misogyny controversy. People thought that song was very anti-feminist.
That shocked me because I remember that song came out when I was in middle school, and that's I liked Paramore. I'm not gonna lie, I was a big Paramore fan. Misery Business and Pressure were their two best songs. What about Misery Business was misogynistic? Because I tried to look at the lyrics and
She said once a...
Whore, nothing more.
Yeah, there you
said
go.
it.
You said it on YouTube.
Sorry.
wow, bro,
It's okay.
we're clipping that.
She said, "I'm not going to preach about it. I just want to say thank you for being nostalgic about this because this is one of the coolest moments of our show. It's nice to feel like there's a reason to bring it back that's positive. Not just that it was a popular song of yours.
Then
and
you're
your
going to
fans
find out
liked it.
later that he broke up with a girl for his wife, and it'll totally fit into the theme of the song. That'd be kind of cool. All right. In gross news today, ladies and gentlemen, this story says a mom refused to kill her child's head lice because she's a vegan and won't murder a living thing.
Oh my god.
This is a real thing. It says the mom's neighbor wrote that the agony in the agony of the aunt column on coach.9.com.au, explaining that her 7-year-old daughter is friends with the girl next door whose family is vegan. That's fine. We respect her choice. I love how veganism is now what being gay was in the 2010s.
You were born that way.
It's fine. It's fine. My problem is that recently, this otherwise delightful child was at our house and scratching furiously, and I discovered that she was crawling with head lice. Thank you for the very descriptive explanation. The woman explained that when she mentioned the head lice to the vegan mum, remember this is Lad Bible who said this, she told her that she wasn't planning on doing anything about it because vegans don't kill living things. My neighbor told me she was in the practice of combing the lice and nits into the garden where they had a chance of survival.
No.
What about your child's survival?
What about the
Yeah,
plants
they said
eat?
quit
They're
worrying
too.
about your neighbor's parenting methods. When your neighbor's parenting methods directly affect your kid, I think you should be worrying about them.
Yeah, that's super uncomfortable.
This sounds fake, though.
Could
Really?
be.
I hope so.
I have no idea. It says, but this is a lot of people. You know where this would be a great place to debate would be in a Facebook, a mom Facebook group, which is statistically the meanest women on planet Earth are in mom Facebook groups. Usually,
And momfluencers.
Yeah, they tend to be borderline evil a lot of the time.
Or just straight up evil.
Ruthless.
Yeah, so I would love to see a debate between momfluencers on Facebook arguing about head lice on children. And you were saying what? There's multiple methods to get rid of it. See, I was maybe I'd get head lice that way, get rid of my blonde hair. I'd have an excuse to just shave it off. But you said what? There's specific shampoo you use.
You can get medicated shampoo, or you can just cover your head in mayo.
What? I think
Or
I've heard
peanut
that.
butter.
Yeah, I've heard peanut butter.
I could see peanut butter working.
And it just
'cause it stops
drowns them.
Uh-huh.
It just, they just drown in mayo.
But that's
It's a horrible way to die.
Vegan mayo.
Mayo's
Very
disgusting.
inhumane.
Mayo's absolutely
That
disgusting.
veganese.
We need PETA to weigh in on this.
Mayo's disgusting.
Mayo's delicious. You got to make it yourself with olive oil. Olive oil, I think egg yolk, and it's like vinegar. Vinegar, freshly made mayonnaise.
Not my thing.
Delicious.
I'm gonna go.
I'll
with
make it for you guys.
I'm gonna go with no. Personally, I'm gonna go with no on this one. All right, and Lizzo is back in the news. Big story broke today saying that she had sexual harassment allegations from 6 more people. There's not a lot of details on this right now, but all things kind of seem to be going down the tubes for her, because not only did this happen, she lost 220,000 followers on social media. That's a lot of people to lose in a very short period
Which is
of time.
weird because everyone in the comment section was defending her. So it seems like the public sentiment is defending her. And then another music festival that she was supposed to headline was canceled due to, quote, severe circumstances.
Yeah, they don't explain what those circumstances were, but it was called the Made in America Fest. Sounds like something where we could Guy Fieri and do diners, drive-ins, and dives marathon, which is what I would like to see. See, I've been watching diners, drive-ins, and dives, and it really is the greatest thing in television. Like what I realized is, like, in the age that we live in now, this is such an aside, but like we're constantly in these discussions about progressivism versus conservatism, and it's always done through the lens of politics, right? So the progressives want to just change everything for the sake of change because they've been told by Marxist professors and everything that change is good and that we need to destroy what has built our system before. But nobody on these TV shows is like that. If anything, they all have deep or even like the TV shows that we talk about, where they're talking about, well, we're making Snow White, but we're not going to make Snow White the way Snow White was. We're gonna remake it for a modern audience. But what I've realized is the people who own these diners, they tend to come from families, or they buy them from the person who owned the restaurant before them. And the biggest point they always make is to not change stuff. Mm-hmm. They want to keep the spirit of the restaurant alive with the cooking, and that's why the people that go to these restaurants like it so much. Why can't these people who make movies do the same? It's not hard.
Well, you can't indoctrinate people with food, can you?
Vegans? Yes, you absolutely can indoctrinate people.
You can indoctrinate people into supporting open borders with tacos. So
let's go. Yes.
I guess I stand corrected.
What if we did that? What if at the southern border we just put taco trucks all down the southern border? that'd be
if
great.
you can make it past the exhaust fumes, then you're allowed it.
That would be great. That would be great. I would eat them. I would eat them all the time. So Lizzo is not a good person, as we seem to be learning more and more of lately, despite what Grimes may say on the matter, who apparently was just in the news today because like something was being written about her and Elon Musk. Like Musk did some interview. They talked about how, I guess when they met, it's such a fake story. They're like, he gave her a Lord of the Rings trivia test, but when they started dating, I'm like, that didn't happen. You're lying.
I doubt that.
That's not a thing. But yeah, she was in the news again today because something related to Musk. So.
Well, she recently visited Elon with their child X at one of the Tesla plants. It's like the way that he's a father is he takes them on a walking tour of the Tesla plant.
This will be yours
once every 6 months.
All cars over the horizon are yours.
And he's like, bye for the next 6 months, X.
Clearly a
Have
child
a good time in
made
school.
out of love and commitment, but
I wonder if he's gonna if eventually he'll just have kids that he when they're born they're just gonna have Neuralink put in immediately. He's just gonna use his own children as test subjects. He's just gonna put the Neuralink in.
He has a weird fetish for growing his kids in petri dishes.
Yeah.
Does he do that genetic engineering where he chooses the traits and the intelligence level of the children?
It seems like he just does that by choosing his employees or random women that seem to be intelligent and hot at the same time. He's not really attracted to them, but he wants to have kids with them.
Then how does Amber Heard fit into that? She's not intelligent.
But Grimes is one of the only baby mamas he has that conceived naturally, it seems.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really weird.
Maybe it was an accident. He's like, damn it, I didn't mean to do it that way.
It's like they say that he has a breeding fetish, but he doesn't like
day.
having sex. So
weird. That's fascinating.
I think he's asexual, to be honest.
In the chat, Cleggy says the Lord of the Rings test sounds too autistic not to be true. No, I mean maybe, but it reeks like those stories you hear of these cutesy things that they do to drum up good publicity. What was the Harry and Meghan one earlier? You were reading something about Harry and Meghan earlier, and I got angry.
Karaoke nights and get takeout pizza. They have a fun and flirty relationship.
Meghan
they're just
Meghan
like us.
Markle does not eat takeout pizza. If she does, she eats it with a fork and knife.
It said it was specifically from Ellen DeGeneres' favorite pizza restaurant. That's why they like it.
You know how I say all the time, like whenever I do IRL, I reiterate the point: no matter how much you hate journalists, you don't hate them enough.
Yeah.
No matter how much you hate celebrities, you don't.
Okay,
hate
it
them.
says, in response to
Celebrity
naysayers who
journalist.
claim Meghan Markle is too bossy, a source close to the couple observed, Meghan does seem to run the household and make decisions, but it's not that Harry bends to her. It's just a dynamic that works for them. And
Sell
maybe
your
one
guns,
that he
simp.
needs after everything he's been through. So after everything he's been through, he just needs to be browbeaten by his wife.
Imagine being like a
Seems
a
normal.
coal miner and hearing about all the things that a guy from a royal family has been through. Your life was so difficult. Being a member of literal royalty, I don't know how you do it.
I mean,
Good
he
sir.
did lose his mom, but maybe that's why he has these issues. I don't know.
Yeah. And if you're going to leave, just leave. Don't complain. Then I have no sympathy for you
Yeah.
or respect.
So can I do that? Can he look to me for support because I lost my mom? Be like, Brett lost his mom. I look to him for guidance and inspiration because he's such an inspiration because he did something that people do, which is lose family members.
You wouldn't be allowed in the royal family because you were baptized Catholic.
Okay,
That's a thing.
Is that a thing? I didn't know that. Okay, well, I don't want to be a member of the royal family anyways.
It sounds awful, according to Prince Harry.
All right, guys. We've got cringe and we've got cute. The cringe, I think we'll do cute first, and then we'll do cringe.
Okay.
Switch
Sounds
it up a
good.
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Cute of the day first from whatever on Twitter says, here is our family, Cat Gizmo. He just passed away today. He traveled across the country with us. He had a big family that loves him very much. He will be missed by all of us. We love you, Gizmo.
R.I.P. Gizmo.
Rest in peace, Gizmo.
A lot of pet deaths happening lately.
Yeah, in the last 24 hours.
Hanging out there in the big chicken coop in the sky with Roberto Jr.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think you would want a cat to be in the chicken coop.
Well,
in
they
the
can't
sky.
hurt. They can't hurt each other up there. 'cause
Oh, I
it's-
see.
It's okay. They all get along up there. All right. Olivia Claire sends, Mocha has made a few appearances. This is her sister, Chloe, a.k.a. the spawn of Satan. She's a beautiful cat, but she will not hesitate to attack. I still love her. She's an a-hole, but a fat and lovable one.
Oh.
That's a good photo.
Wow.
Very
That's really
fat and
cute.
lovable.
Yes. Oh,
Looks
yes.
scared there. Like, it's like, don't take my... Or it looks shy. Not
Yeah,
scared. It looks
shy.
shy.
It's coy.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, that's a Bucko-esque
So
photo.
cute.
Bucko was all curled up in a ball earlier on top of his jacket.
So they were. Jessica sent me a message earlier about like something about that they're doing with a photo, looking for photos of Bucko. So they immediately come to me because my phone is just 90%
loaded.
photos of Bucko. Anyway,
He's still going strong.
Yep.
I didn't expect it. But
he's a fighter.
he's resilient.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We now have cringe of the day. Get fasten your seatbelts. Put on your hard hats. We're gonna
This
watch
was
this one.
intense.
We're gonna watch this one together,
So
ladies and
exciting.
gentlemen. You're gonna love this. It's great.
Not satire, by the way.
Not satire. Here we go. Ready?
I don't remember the last time I went to see a movie because I don't love going to the movie theater. But I'll tell you what, it pisses me off that I can't go see Barbie. I want to go see it, even if it is white feminism. I want to be able to go. So I'm doing a thing. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest, you can do a thing with me. Here's what it is. Next week, which is July 31st, August 1st, someday next week on a weekday, I am renting out a theater in Northwest Portland. The entire theater. The whole theater. The theater seats 46 people, I think. We're only going to do 20 tickets. So me and 19 other people. That's it. In addition to that, there will be one employee. So the entire building, the entire cinema, is going to be one employee plus 20 attendees. That's it. We are the only people in the building, and every single person, including that employee, is going to be wearing an N95 the entire time. The employee's going to put it on before they enter the building. They've been chosen specifically for this purpose. They seem to get it. If you show up because you bought a ticket, I need to see a KN94 well fitted, or a 95 well fitted, or a P100. And if I see a baggy mask, I'm going to tell you to take it off and put on one that I hand you. I'm holding onto a bunch of masks.
What if you
Choose
show
the
up
one you like
naked but
best.
with a mask on?
There are no concessions during the movie. They're not even going to open it up. Do not bother bringing food or drinks.
I don't
You may
believe
not
that
take
for
your
a
mask off
second,
in the movie.
given this woman's
If you need to scratch
size.
your nose or you need to take a sip of water, you need to get up, exit the theater, do that, and then come back. They're going to be medically fragile people there. This is their first opportunity in like 3.5 years, so we are not fucking around here, folks. No kids that can't wear a mask solidly for 2 hours. Like, I'm not going to do little kids because I don't blame them, but it is what it is. This is going to be a morning showing. We are the first people in the building, so we will be in and out well before any other employees or other people show up for the showings. The building will have had a chance to clear the air from the night before. And also, they upgraded their filtration over the past 3 years, and they just had an inspection June 26th, their quarterly inspection, and changed out all of their MERV filters.
That changes everything.
It's going to be $25 a person. All I'm doing is covering the cost. That's it. So I will refund any overages. It is a risk. I don't know how else to put that. It is definitely a risk to be in a building for 2 hours. Makes me anxious. But I feel like it's a measured risk and one I'm willing to take. And if there are more cautions that we could take, definitely let me know. But if you want to go, hit the comments, let me know, and I'll be in touch. I'll get in touch with you over DM, and we will make it work. I'm excited, I think, for Barbie. Did not expect to be saying that, right?
Wait, so like, if it's a risk you're willing to take, but you're not excited about the movie, I'm confused.
It's a risk you're willing to take for Barbie.
But she's not excited about it because it's white feminism.
She talks like a Redditor. She talks like for the last 3.5 years, the only human interaction she's had is through Reddit.
Yeah.
Also, you were specifically ticked off at her saying she's giving back the money once it becomes profitable. Like he said, once we reach those overage costs, I'm giving back the money because I'm a fat weird communist.
It's something that happens
Also,
with people in crowdfunding where they have to prove their virtue by showing that they're not going to take any profit from something because they're fat weird communists.
Why exactly is this woman medically fragile? I do wonder.
I mean, life is a risk. Like, there's bigger risks out there than being medically fragile.
Yeah.
I sympathize with that, but you're more likely to die getting in an accident on the way to that movie theater than you are to die from being in that theater.
Yeah.
Because
She's going to be wearing her N95 strapped on tight as she drives there alone in her car.
I wonder if she will like check your mask to make sure it's tight.
Yep.
Probably.
She's acting like a boot camp instructor.
Yeah.
next.
Ooh, just like
We're not
there's
fucking around.
There's a certain level of it's interesting that in an age where that level of delusion is possible because the media outlets and politicians spent the last 3 years scaring the living crap out of people.
The unbridled neuroses of women who don't feel safe in society.
Well, who have been battered with fear porn for the last 3 years.
I blame the algorithms for that.
Yeah.
Like and in all of this to see.
And of course, it's in the PNW.
Yes. She'll they'll get there and they'll have their Starbucks beforehand. They'll drink their overpriced coffee.
Their huge frappuccinos.
And
pink drinks that are making them huge.
I find it hard to believe that these people are real, but at the same time, I know that they are. And I understand that certain people are more fragile and are very, very, they submit easier to the propaganda that was fed to them.
Don't be all Mr. Nice Guy now.
I am trying to rationalize how this happened.
You said you saw a picture of your friend for the first time in 3.5 years where he wasn't wearing a mask.
And I was very happy
in an outdoor place.
Yeah, I was very happy for him.
Did no one tell her that Joe Biden announced COVID was over?
She doesn't believe him. She doesn't
That's
believe him.
that's where
If
she draws
Bernie
the line
Sanders
and
had
thinks for
announced that
herself.
COVID was over, she would have been okay. But it's and
Justin Trudeau.
This lady has bumper stickers on her car, and they're all very, very snarky. I can guarantee you that. And what would be better, if I'm being honest, is I might actually go looking, like if this lady did a review for Barbie. Like, I want to know what her thoughts are on the Barbie movie. I do, and I want to know.
do a review
and I would like to
afterwards.
know what the hell white feminism is.
Well, it's
Does
interesting because
I
she
don't know what
didn't
that is.
want to
Oh.
watch it for that aspect of it.
White
right?
feminism is like what intersectional feminists called feminism that isn't intersectional.
Oh,
That's-
is she saying that because of Margot Robbie being the main character, and
I
she's
think
saying it's like
so.
promoting white
and the director
feminism?
is a white woman. Yeah.
Oh wow, she's in deep.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, once you get in that deep, once you get in that
Is there
far,
any
it's
hope
very
for
hard
someone
to
like
it's very
that?
hard to get out. And I have a little bit of empathy, but at the same time, I'm like, dude. Like, it's shocking to think that we live in a society that's that focused on safety. But at the same time, I guess you could make the argument that she's not bothering anyone else and she's doing it on her own. She's not going to the movie with her N95 yelling at people for
Yeah,
not wearing
right.
one, I guess.
Yeah.
I still think she's a dork. But she's,
not
like I
being
said, but she's
mandated.
been abused by algorithms and computers that
You
have
know
told
what?
her.
I bet that movie theater employee who hounded me for bringing food in from outside the theater
Yeah.
probably was a mask Nazi during the throes of the pandemic.
Also,
That's
like,
why I think that's why it pissed me off so much. Is it was done in the same tone as like, excuse me, where is your mask? Why is it below your nose?
Yeah.
That's what really got to me.
yep. I mean, there was plenty of people when we went to see Barbie that had masks on.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
I saw a couple of people with masks on in the last two movies that
We
I've
need
gone
to just start publicly shaming these people. Be like, face diaper, ha 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 ha.
Oh, I did like this comment though. Somebody says, "Stop talking already. Shut up and take my money."
Like, wow, I'm so excited for this.
I just hope like one day Alex Jones accidentally pops up on her feed and her algorithm and just breaks her whole like system of
She
the
probably
belief
already
system
knows
and
who
just
Alex
wakes
Jones
her up.
is.
It wouldn't work. It would have to. You'd have to start smaller than that. You can't just go no lube into Alex Jones.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
I feel like
It's
once
not a thing.
like one part of the narrative is disproven, the rest of it starts to unravel. But Alex Jones is he's the advanced version.
It is
for sure.
interesting how women kind of became extremists on COVID in both directions. Like they were attracted to both extreme poles on it, where they either thought the whole thing was a hoax or they went all in like this lady, where you're like wearing your mask while you're alone in your car or alone in your house.
Well, it's interesting because it's like this woman is vulnerable to sickness in general, and you'd think that would inspire her to make changes to make her less vulnerable, but instead she's just honing in on this one thing because that's what her phone has told her
And
to
it's
fear.
and it takes the onus off her. She doesn't have to make any changes, right? She doesn't have to say, like I said, I was watching Twisted Metal and the guy goes, "Fat doesn't correlate to health." Like we all know that that's not true. Everyone knows that's not true. There's a reason why there aren't a lot of old fat people. That's the way of the world. But unfortunately, journals have been edited in the last couple of decades, and activists have come for any type of research that promotes an idea to the contrary, and it allows them to live in their bubble and not make changes to themselves. It's like I said, like I had a friend who he got into this big back when I still used Facebook, where it's like they were talking about how food poisons you. The food at the grocery store poisons you, and somebody made the comment. They said, "Well, it's a sickness, it's a poison unique to people that are poor." And his point is basically, so it's still your responsibility to figure it out. You're an adult in the real world. It's your job to figure out what to do about that. Is it fair? No, life isn't fair. That's the number one phrase that's been killed by society in the last 2 decades is your parents when they're like, you're like, "I want McDonald's for dinner." And they're like, "Well, you can't." You're like, "That's not fair." I'm like, "Well, life's not fair." And that was what you heard, and that was the end
Yeah.
of the end of the discussion, because as much as your parents might not want to say that to you, it might make them feel bad, it was a apropos lesson for the world you were about to enter. Life isn't fair, but they want to bend reality in the world to fit to them. Now we have to go to so it's like an early morning Barbie screening. That's even worse. Like crack of dawn. You're like, oh
You have
god,
to set an alarm.
Feminism, yes. Like you just have an alarm that plays a bunch of like Anita Sarkeesian videos when you wake up so that you can go see the Barbie movie. Like, no, that's a specific type of hell that nobody should want to subject themselves to.
It's a really depressing existence that this woman lives in. I don't think that anyone is even going to take her up on her offer.
I mean, the
Craziest mask people have kind of retired that by now. It is August 2023.
Yeah.
Like, grow up.
I like the idea. She's like, look, she's like, I knew the people in this community were smart. Nobody came. I was like, she's like, nobody else was willing to risk it. I was the daredevil who was willing to risk it and go see Barbie with an N95 at 8 a.m. with one vetted employee.
So stunning and brave.
Like, did they find the employee and like was like, I need to look through their social media feeds to see what they look like. So like it's all like weird mask TikToks. It's like I need to see at least 5 videos of nurses dancing during
COVID.
COVID.
Background check on the employee.
They followed them in their car to make sure they wore a mask
in the car.
in the car.
They're like I need to see at least 5 liked videos of nurses dancing during COVID. And
the bravest thing about this is she's not willing to eat for 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Which is sad too, because the whole reason I go to the movie theater out here is to get the food. That's literally the only
cheesy
reason.
fries.
I go
worth
for the
it.
fries.
They're
That's
good.
the whole reason.
And I go for the thrill of bringing contraband food into the
all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? It's not a record, but 40 minutes into the show. Let's get started, shall we? Megan Fox is writing a poetry book, and it's a book in which she talks about the pretty boys are all poisonous. That's what she's saying. So divisive language is back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
I
ironic,
like it.
right? Because she's dating a certified pretty boy, MGK.
But I like this because the cover of the book, if you look at it, really does look like an emo album cover from like the early 2000s.
This woman is 37 years old and still is mentally 17.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all Michael Bay's fault.
It's the same reason she was doing all of that wannabe edgy shit with her boyfriend. Like, oh yeah, we do blood rituals together.
Okay, so then
we exchange our energies.
I need to ask you about that. Because yesterday we got into a discussion about demonic possession. Could the same thing apply here? Like maybe they're doing it just to be edgy, but some demons like slipped in under the radar because they were doing blood rituals? Is that a possibility?
I think that you can unwittingly invite demons to interfere with your home and your life simply by doing these rituals, even if you're doing it in a performative way or you don't understand the significance of it. If you dabble in the occult, you are putting out a welcome mat and opening the door for these, for the supernatural to interfere with your life.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so-
that's
So
what I call it, like satanic Hollywood rituals.
Most of the
It's always,
time that
you know,
doesn't happen. By God's mercy, it does not happen, but sometimes it does. And we were talking about this because Doja Cat is being accused of being possessed by a demon for having like done satanic rituals at her 27th birthday party, and we were just getting into a long discussion about that. But anyway, back to the poetry book. This is gonna be I think she's gonna revolutionize feminist poetry for the first time since Rupi Kaur.
It says these poems were written in an attempt to excise the illness that had taken root in me because of my silence. I've spent my entire life keeping the secrets of men. My body aches from carrying the weight of their sins, the 37-year-old wrote.
Okay.
My freedom
Maybe
lives
aches
in
'cause he
these
keeps getting
pages.
surgery.
I hope that my words can inspire others to take back their happiness and their identity by
Hold
using
on.
their voice to illuminate what's been buried but not forgotten in the darkness.
I have to add that one to my list of sayings that say something without saying anything at all. What was that one? Take back my...
Oh yeah, take back their happiness and their identity by using their voice to illuminate what's been buried.
I have that
Brett
up there
has
with-
a working list of meaningless phrases that people say these days.
My personal favorite is stepping into my confidence. It doesn't mean anything!
Calm down, Brett.
What the hell is that? It's not like your confidence isn't a size 2. You don't get to step into your confidence.
Step into your confidence one leg at a time.
She should rename the book "I Choose Poorly" because that's what I'm hearing. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Megan Fox, you're so beautiful. You could just stay silent. That's my comment. Just be beautiful. You don't have to do anything else. You're famous. You're gorgeous. You have a boyfriend who you do blood rituals with. Just
Do your
Give
thing.
it a rest.
yeah.
I
Just be
mean, but
hot.
there's a lot of money to be made in divisive books and stuff like
Yes,
this.
but
yeah.
Both sides are guilty of this.
yeah.
And weirdly, a lot of these comments are, excited to buy the book. One said, I've never wanted to buy a book written by a celebrity until today. Another one said, this book is going to ignite the 5th wave of feminism, and I've never been so excited for anything.
That is terrifying. The fourth
Pre-saved.
wave-
I love
Any
women.
more waves, we're drowning
The
already.
4th wave was so bad. Like, how the hell are we going to get... What the hell? What
How
the
the hell
does
did
the
Megan
5th
Fox
wave-
get people to believe that she's extremely intelligent?
By using words like excise.
It's literally just
it's like
because-
exercise,
she for sure
but not.
subscribes to the dictionary.com word of
Yeah.
the day, which I recently subscribed to. as
Like
well.
having a wide vocabulary doesn't make you a genius,
No.
Megan.
And clearly your taste in men isn't very intelligent or great either.
No.
If you marry a guy with pink hair,
MGK literally cheated on her.
Yeah.
That's a downside of being as hot as Megan Fox is like any guy you date, he's gonna have his ego inflated by the fact that you chose him, and he's gonna think he can do anything he wants. And she stayed with him, so that's on her. But he commented on her post, "Proud of you." It's like the classic male feminist, like, "I'm supporting you, babe." I hate it. It's like this book is literally written about him.
Yeah. There's nothing more sus, as the kids would say, than a male feminist, anyways. Like,
Is sus still like a hip word?
I have no idea.
I feel like it's
Not as much as it used to
it's not
be.
as much.
Bet. I like bet. I like bet.
These are 80 poems. One comment said, "These poems have made me cry, laugh, hurt. So honored to be working with this powerful collection. Can't wait for the world to read."
Do you think
The world is going to be reading this.
Yeah.
Wait, does like, can you get a ghostwriter for poetry?
I was just thinking
that
that.
feels wrong somehow. Like, it's one thing to have somebody ghostwrite your autobiography because you're just a dumb, like if I wrote a book, somebody would probably have to like read the articles I wrote for timcast.com. I need a ghostwriter. Holy shit. But like, holy crap. Sorry. But like, it seems like you don't get to have a ghostwriter for poems because the whole point is that you did that aspect of the art yourself. That doesn't seem right.
She just wrote a
She
paragraph
just
and
gets
gave it to the
ChatGPT to
ghostwriter.
write them. She's like, ChatGPT, would you please write me something about feminism in men, circa a Boys Like Girls album from 2005?
You said it sounds like the
Throwback.
name of like an emo band's album
Yeah.
from the 2000s, but just change it to girls. Pretty girls are dangerous.
Yeah.
Lipstick and lies.
With the lip piercing.
Yeah, I was just like, it sounds like something that Hawthorne Heights would have released back in the day, or
Ma'am,
something
you
like
are
that.
a 40-year-old mother of 3. Move on with
She
your
has
life.
kids?
Yeah.
From her previous marriage to Brian Austin Green.
Oh yeah. I remember
And
now. That was a cute marriage.
people are asking for a poll. What is the poll? Is Megan Fox intelligent? What should the poll be?
Oh,
Is she hotter or is she smarter?
Yeah, is she a smart hot girl or a hot smart girl? I thought we already did that one though.
Hold on.
Okay, we were just like agonizing over what to put up for a poll today, and we
who's
couldn't figure it
prettier,
out.
Megan Fox or Machine Gun Kelly? There we go. Who's the pretty one?
But we already know who's gonna win that one. MGK. The publisher says Megan Fox showcases her wicked humor throughout a heartbreaking and dark collection of poetry. Over the course of more than 70 poems, Megan Fox chronicles all the ways in which we fit ourselves into the shape of the ones we love, even if it means losing ourselves in the process.
Again, you're not saying anything.
Here's what she said about it. These poems were written in an attempt to excise the illness. Oh, wait, yeah, we already talked about that one. And it's a powerful debut from one of the most well-known women of our time. Is that the case?
Her being one of the, I think so. I mean, she's up there.
Turn the page, bite the apple, and sink your teeth into the most deliciously compelling and addictive books you'll read all year.
I smell...
No thanks.
You know what this is going to end up being? You're going to have to deal with thousands of feminists who do the thing where they take the picture of the book on their knee. They're like, oh my God, Sunday reading. And then they take the photo and they
I'm
post it.
curled up with a good book on a rainy day.
And my cat, my 7 cats.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I suppose the best argument we have against this is that, like, what, we haven't offered them something to the contrary? Is there something better than Megan Fox we can offer the world? Meghan Markle? Are those your options? Which way, Western women? Megan Fox, Meghan Markle? Choose your Megan.
Or Megan the Stallion.
Or Megan the Stallion. Those are you get to choose your Megan. That's the society we're living in right now. Or Megan Kelly. God help us all. Those are all your choices.
Hey, I like Megan Kelly.
That's what you get. You can pick
Just
one
so
of those
many
4.
extremes.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. No, or Megan Rapinoe. That's all you get. It's just Bad Megan. That's a band name. Bad
Megan
Megans.
Trainor.
Megan.
What about
Megan Trainor. We were just
That's
talking
even
about her.
worse.
Yeah,
dude.
So-
pick your poison.
Do you think Megan Trainor is fat?
No. Well, I haven't seen her lately.
you know, I don't really remember what she looks like, but I will say on camera, it's hard to look skinny.
True, but she put out a song that was all about being plus size in 2014.
Well, that was plus size back in the day.
But now, like, people are talking about it because they're not sure she was actually fat. And Lizzo is actually a representation for fat girls. Meghan Trainor was just faking it.
Well, people are forgetting there's a difference between fat and obese. If that's the case, you know.
Meghan Trainor's healthy looking. She's very healthy.
Yeah,
I don't
More
think
so
I would
than
not
Lizzo,
call her
I would
fat.
say. I mean, I wouldn't want to
look
look
her
like
up.
Meghan Trainor personally.
Didn't she lose
I would not
weight?
mind looking like Meghan Trainor. She's juicy. I would say she's juicy.
Yeah,
She
she's her well.
has an
She carries it
hourglass
well.
figure.
Yeah, she's got a nice womanly figure.
It seems like that's
Lizzo
just
has
her
a
body
planet
type.
figure.
Yeah, what's her body type?
The whole orbital.
That's like, is Megan, like, what did you say? What was your final your final decision? Was Meghan Trainor?
My judgment was Meghan Trainor was and is fat.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's just my personal opinion, you know.
They okay. Then I guess the modern question would be: is Meghan Trainor thick with 2 C's, 3 C's, 4 C's? How many C's is she thick?
I would say 2 C's.
She's a 2 cc
I would-
thick.
yeah, I would
2 or
say.
3. She
Give me
reminds me of.
Give me an example of a 3 cc thick. Then, God, I hate this job. I really do. Like some days I wake up and I
asking
just
the
wonder what
hard
it's all-
questions, Brett.
Some days I wake up and I just wonder what the hell it's all about.
Who does she remind you of?
I don't even know the
Would
difference.
be a 3C.
A triple C thick?
Yeah.
You were saying she reminds you of
I
somebody?
stumped him, ladies
okay,
and gentlemen.
Lizzo would be
Meghan
5.
Trainor, I am
No, she's just
hesitant
fat.
to say
She's not
she's
thick.
fat because she just reminds me of Brooke Hogan from like the 2010s, where she's like the daughter of a wrestler. She's just thick, like she looks
She's
muscular.
buff. Yeah, she's buff.
That's what I'm getting from her.
Brooke Hogan was never fat. Though.
No, Brooke-
She was
No,
skinny.
yeah,
She's dense.
She was,
just-
but
she
she
was
was
a little
bit-
She
she was
wasn't
dense.
like a stick.
She was, less skinny than like Britney Spears was at the same time. That's not really
I'll
saying
I'll
anything.
never forget the episode. They got a personal trainer for the whole family, and they told her she needs to lose 30 pounds.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that one.
I was like, don't talk about my girl like
Our
that.
standards have just fallen so far since then.
Yeah.
And our standards
Yeah.
for literature as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go out and buy this book for you.
I hate
think.
nothing more
Please don't.
than book talk, than hashtag book talk. And Barnes & Noble now has a whole section called book talk that's just books that became popular through people talking about them on TikTok, which are usually cheap romance novels.
Yeah.
Nothing really changes.
Russell Roaming in the chat says Brooke Hogan is a hottie now. Brooke Hogan was a hottie then.
Yeah.
She was a hottie
What are
then.
you saying?
Also unknown says Brett's thick. Thank you.
Brooke is
With how many C's
2.
though?
Yeah.
2.
He put 2 C's?
2.
What did they say?
Okay.
There were so many comments about you saying
She's
that you're a
gorgeous.
spicy Latina, round, brown, low to the ground.
Round,
The same
Latinx.
person,
Latinx.
always. Spicy Latinx.
Watch out,
Excuse me.
Chris Bertman is a Latina supremacist. His wife is Latina.
Yeah. So, I hate this discussion.
Let's
Yeah,
move
me
on
too.
then.
No,
I love it so
Me
much.
too.
Well, no. The thing about do you think that books like this do more for the culture than we give them credit for? Because like I see things like this, and the reason why the culture shifts as slowly as it does is they take for granted the fact that certainly we can laugh at this and be like, look, who's going to read this book? But it's going to end up on someone's bookshelf somewhere. And,
A lot of people.
and somebody will end up reading it and somebody will end up taking something from it. I shudder to think of what the hell fifth wave feminism will be. Hopefully,
I thought we were already there.
are we there?
Since we're arguing about what a woman is.
Can anybody here? This is not off topic entirely, but can you tell me the differences? Because I had a discussion with a friend about this when I was back in Minnesota. What is the difference between third and fourth wave feminism?
It doesn't even matter. It was satanic from the
Yeah.
very beginning.
I didn't know there was a 4th wave, actually.
I can't keep up.
We're kind of in.
But it makes sense.
You're talking to sane women. So,
Thank goodness. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and let's go to super chats then.
All right.
Chris Chan said, "Can you do a segment about me? I'm a big internet personality that is about taking care of your loved ones. Just Google Chris Chan mom." Okay, no thanks.
Chris
No
Chan
thanks.
It's like that one account that says it's like the government hides gems in parks. Just Google Ruby Ridge.
Sounds
These are
fun.
going over
Google
my head.
Sonic inflation. 50 Charlie said, "New podcast, Brett's Angels."
Yes. Well, that's anything's better than that Elizabeth Banks Charlie's Angels movie. So if we have to make
We're the spin-off.
exactly, so if we have to make Brett's Angels, we will go ahead and do that.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Oh, Brett, having to host a show with a room full of smart and lovely ladies. I feel so sorry for you. I'm new at this. Is that how you do a misogyny?"
Yes. Unironically, bro. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
kind of condescending
Yeah.
to women. You don't need to tell us that we're smart and beautiful. We know.
Let's hold off on the rest after he gave you guys those lovely compliments.
It's enough.
Gassing us up too much.
Like I said, today, like all super chats are going to exclusively non-women's charities. That's where it's going today. It's just It's not the Boys and Girls Club that we're sending stuff to do today. It's just the Boys Club. All right, so Tory Lanez is in the news because Tory Lanez was just sentenced to 10 years in prison for capping Megan Thee Stallion in the foot in
Yes.
2020.
In 2020, I think they were in a car together.
Or 2021, one of the two,
It
2020
was-
or 2021.
No, it was in July 2020. They were in a car together. Megan Thee Stallion, one of her friends, Tory Lanez, and his bodyguard. And I guess a fight broke out of some kind, and he shot her in the foot. There were multiple shots fired. And basically, at the time, Megan didn't say anything to the cops about it when they were investigating because she said, I was worried about like whether the cops would start firing on us when they realized a gun was involved. And this was during the summer of love, so there was a lot of fear mongering about cops and police brutality, stuff like that. She went to the hospital a few days later with that gunshot wound. Like, she waited and then came out and said that he was the one that did it. And ever since, he's been straight up denying that it happened, which is insane because who else would have done it? How else did she get injured? I don't understand.
This whole story is like fishy, and there's definitely holes in it because no way you're walking around for multiple days with a gunshot in your foot.
I think she was. I think that the indoctrination about cops was so strong back then that she might have legitimately thought, I can't tell them that he did this because they're going to start firing on all of us. Like,
What does
I genuinely believe that part of the story.
but
But now, Tory Lanez is blaming this incident on his childhood trauma to avoid accountability. This tweet says, Tory Lanez insists he's innocent in Megan Thee Stallion's shooting, but also says if he's guilty, it's because of his alcoholism and childhood trauma. He reportedly claims that if he did do it, he's on some OJ shit right there.
I also
he
wanna
needs
point out-
therapy instead of prison. So his lawyers are wanting him to get released from jail and put into a residential drug treatment program when he's sentenced instead of prison.
I want to also point out that whoever the hell the sketch artist was in the courtrum did Tory Lanez hella dirty.
Oh my God.
Like,
That looks so bad.
come on, man.
Man, that doesn't even look like
Give
him.
the dude a break. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not cool.
Looking rough.
Like, that's not cool, dude. Like, you should be forced to at least give a good likeness of a person.
doesn't
in
even
court.
look like him.
Looks
Like,
nothing him.
like I love this. Then Alec Baldwin's over here, like, should have done it on a movie set, loser. Like that's messed up.
So this statement from Megan Thee Stallion was read in court. She was not there. She said, after everything that occurred, I can't bring myself to be in the same room with Tory. I've been tormented and terrorized. He paid bloggers to disseminate false information. He treated my trauma like a joke when I could have been dead. He blamed the system. He blamed the press. And as of late, he is using his childhood trauma to justify his actions. Slowly but surely, I'm healing, but I'll never be the same. His crime warrants the full weight of the law. I kind of question this because I don't think that, like, getting shot in the foot is, like, the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Mary says rub some dirt in it.
Life's not fair.
Life's not fair.
But yeah, I guess she's saying he was paying people to lie about the situation and claim that
I
she
buy.
actually was injured by broken glass in the car instead of a gunshot wound. I don't think that medical examiners would see it the same way.
Do you think she went to the hospital because it was going to risk? It's like her twerking leg, and she's like she's not going to be able to twerk.
She's never
was the
going to
final
twerk
straw.
the same again. 'Cause
Like,
she
somebody said that she was like
has
at
to
a
lean on
concert.
her good foot.
Somebody said that she was at a concert like a week later or something twerking. It's kind of like the story about Jonathan Majors where she's like, he cut my finger, and then she's at the bar holding a bottle of Cristal, and they're like, I don't know if you were actually hurt. These women, liars,
I mean,
a lot of them.
Like,
Whatever.
if she was able to walk around for a few days, that would have had to be a very small caliber of bullet, like possibly a 22.
Tory
Not that I'm
Lanez
any
carries a
expert,
22.
but yeah, exactly.
Judgment, and feel free to judge him on that.
Like that's a really small bullet.
Low-key fruity.
Oh my God, Tory Lanez carries a 380.
That's
Oh my God.
hey, fruity behavior. Kind of effeminate, if you ask me.
Carries
Very
a
much so, and
380, not
clearly
even-
he didn't know how to handle it. So
He's just like leaning on the trauma narrative again, like everyone does these days, cashing in their trauma coins.
I'm telling you, if O.J. Simpson went to trial now, he would be like, look,
it was my
I know it
trauma,
sucks that I murdered this lady, but
my dad wasn't there for me.
But my dad
pushed me.
my dad beat me, and therefore it was okay that I did this. That's the world we live in now, where you're allowed to make that type of excuse.
I feel like
You did
even
this, so
Andrew
I can do
Tate did the
this.
same thing. He was like, our dad was really hard on us growing up. He would, try to teach us to be tough and beat the shit out of us and stuff like that. And that's why I am the way I am today. I thank him for that.
There's a $20 one there from Exploding Trini.
Sorry, it hasn't popped up for me. He said I choose Megan,
Like
but with a 3.
The movie, Megan.
The robotic doll.
yeah.
That's kind of sus since it's a child, but whatever.
Is it in the movie? Is it a child or is it just a doll?
No, she's like
it's
supposed
a
to be.
doll that's supposed to be a friend to children, like it's a child as well. Yeah.
I love that. Have you seen the things that O.J. Simpson recently, like earlier this year? He's like, I got to get out of L.A. The crime it's getting out of control.
You cannot say something more self-incriminating than, but if I did it, then this would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she added that of the verdict, it was more than a vindication for me. It was a victory for every woman who has ever been shamed, dismissed, and blamed for a violent crime committed against them. I don't know if I see it that way.
Yeah. How do you see it?
She's trying to frame it as like, this is a win for all women in like domestic violence cases or something like that.
That doesn't
When really it
seem-
was just, you shouldn't have been friends with someone like that in the first place.
Don't be around people that are going to drunkenly fire weapons, who don't understand gun safety at all.
Yeah.
That's probably the part about Hollywood that annoys me the most is they're so anti-gun, but they're also the least safe and don't understand the actual culture around firearms or people who actually shoot firearms, not necessarily for a living, but enjoy the sport of shooting, right? Like they don't understand how important safety is to the people who live in that world. How important understanding how they work, all the way down to where and when you can transport weapons.
Okay, but this is more than just a lack of gun safety. It sounds like he maliciously wanted to hurt her and possibly kill her. I mean, if he shot her in the foot, who knows what could have happened? He was aiming at her head, and then someone moved his hand.
Yeah, or maybe
We don't really know
he was trying
what
to
went
scare them
down.
and shot at the ground and hit her foot. Maybe when he was taking his gun out, it fired. I don't know. Regardless, though, like at the very least, not safe gun handling at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
Clearly.
and the guy who is now representing Tory Lanez for his defense also got Casey Anthony off, I guess.
That's not a good look.
No.
Wait, he got Casey Anthony's lawyer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it says a petition grew online. He got high-powered lawyer Jose Baez to represent him. Baez, who won an acquittal for Casey Anthony back in the day, joined us on TMZ Live to tell him about what
That's
happened.
almost worse for your career as a lawyer, right? I wouldn't want to be defended by Casey Anthony's lawyer or
Oh, are you
OJ's
kidding
lawyer.
me? I mean,
OJ's
he
lawyer
got
was a
her off
Kardashian,
when it
so-
was like, when it was like blatantly obvious she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely killed her kid. For
Yeah,
sure.
but that's the beauty of the justice system is you have access to
Well,
somebody.
they'll think
to
like, oh,
represent
he
you.
only defends guilty people.
Yeah.
That's what they'll think.
Or they like long shots. They want to have the challenge of proving that they can get somebody off no matter how blatantly they're very much guilty, right?
Yeah.
Because that is a slippery slope
challenge.
that I see a lot in media. It's like I see a lot of television shows where they portray citizens or even law enforcement as being like overly antagonistic to a lawyer for just doing their job. Like, it's like, you may not like them because they're representing this scumbag who everyone knows is guilty, but that same lawyer could be the one who needs to represent you when you're not guilty. So you need those people. They're a necessary, I wouldn't even call them an evil. They're a chaotic neutral. They're not evil. They're just, it's their job, and they work within the confines of the justice system. But in this case, it's celebrities are dumb.
Here is Tory Lane's song lyrics
Conclusion.
telling people that Megan lied about the situation. in his rap song Money Over Fallout. Megan, people trying to frame me. Girl, you had the nerve to write that statement on the affidavit, knowing I ain't do it, but I'm coming at my truest. And how the F you get shot in your foot, didn't hit no bones or tendons.
At least he didn't say speaking my truth.
That's not.
I can make sure I still have that one on this.
That's not a bad point. My only thing is like I couldn't see someone being so evil to where they would want to just frame you for no reason for something like that and putting you in jail for 10 years. But these are vapid celebrities that we're talking about, so I don't know.
She's also like really tall. Like Megan Thee Stallion's like really tall, so maybe he's just like he's defending himself. He's like, get away from me, Satan.
That was the only thing he could reach.
She's the twerkinator, and she's about to just take him out.
The gun just levitated out of his pocket and shot itself.
I hate when that happens. So they just went off. The gun just went off. I hate it when that happens.
His fault. It's whoever loaded it and handed it to him. Clearly,
it's their fault. I'm telling you, what you do is like this is like you get away with prostitution by claiming you're making a porn. You get away with shooting someone by claiming you're making a movie, just like Alec Baldwin. That's all you really have to do these days. Just get the permits, and you're fine. Nobody will care because then we have to go to court. And is anybody surprised at all that a celebrity of any status got a conviction of this length?
That Tory Lanez was convicted? Oh, I don't know. Because
Kinda.
he hurt another celebrity. Maybe if he hurt someone who doesn't have celebrity status, it wouldn't have been the same way.
Yeah, they'd have been like, why were you
She has public sentiment on her side at this point.
There's a $20 one there from Mikey.
I always was taught that you only ever pull your weapon out if you intend to use it. I just think neither should have been in the vehicle.
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
You're 100%.
I'd love to know what they
right.
were fighting about. Like it was a wrong turn that the driver took or something like that.
We're going to be 20
He's
minutes
like,
late
can
for
you
this
just
party.
stop and ask for directions? He's like, no, I know where I'm going.
I'm a guy, and it is against our creed to stop and ask for directions. I don't even ask my phone for directions. I just find it, right?
Dudes hate asking employees for like where a certain product is in a store too.
What? Is that a thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
I always ask.
Is that a thing? I mean, I guess I don't really look for things that I don't know where it is, or I just order it off Amazon. Like I don't have to.
There you go.
It gets sent to me.
Just go down every aisle.
I'm trying to think if that's happened to me. No, that's not true because I was looking for upholstery, like something for my car. And I had to like where I was like it was not a place where I would normally shop, and so I had to ask like, do you like what aisle would this be in? Because it was like in the back corner.
You're in an exception.
But it was like I didn't spend any time looking for it and then get frustrated and ask. I was just like in a hurry and needed to get in and out of the store as quickly as possible. Maybe I would have held true to my male beliefs and not asked anyone for help if I didn't have places to be.
I've been saying that men don't see things in the fridge. They don't perceive stationary objects. This is the thing.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, that's a pretty big trope, right? That
Men can't find anything. They look for stuff like this.
There's great memes where it's
Apparently.
like it's like 5 minutes after or like right after asking my wife to look for something in the fridge, and it's the guy shaking in fear because the wife's gonna find it and be like, "I was right there."
But he gets to open the pickle jar once she
Yes.
shows him where it is.
Exactly.
It's
Well,
about balance and complementarian. You know.
There's a great video where Sheena Milwani like glues a pickle jar like shut on her husband, and he spends like 3 minutes. Like he gets on the floor, he like puts it between his feet, and he's going like
At
this.
that point, just break it.
Yeah. And like, but like
Save
he's,
your
Throw it
dignity,
against the
King.
wall.
he's a good sport about it. He's like, is this thing possessed? Like I felt kind of bad for the dude. I'm like, then I was like, I hope you got his permission to post this, just nerfing this dude, because it could have been one of those things where he could have been really, really sensitive and been like this and gotten really angry.
Having an
but-
existential crisis.
Yeah,
on the
he's,
pickles.
he's like, what am I to my
His
family?
entire manhood is called into
What
question.
am I to my family if not the one who opens the pickle jar? He says, like he's like, I am a provider, sure. I make lots of money, sure. But what purpose do I serve in the home if I am not the one you call on to open jars that are stuck?
Yeah.
That's the world we need. We need to ask these questions. These are the hard questions we need answered, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that the Tory Lanez will get out early? I do.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Like less than 3 years.
Yeah.
If not, like they'll just be like, you know what? Trauma is big right now. Community service and go to rehab.
He's gonna record albums in prison. Like, who was that guy?
A lot of rappers have recorded albums in prison.
No, it was the one who like peed on teenagers or whatever.
Oh, R. Kelly?
R. Kelly. Yeah.
that guy.
We didn't find that to be true. What happened with that was that ended up
that
being
was a
like
hoax.
AI recording or something.
Have you guys seen the R. Kelly Ethiopia New Year's Eve video?
No.
It is Sarah's. The first thing
What is
Sarah
this?
did. The first thing Sarah did when she got here was she's like, "You have to see this video."
Yeah, that was like one of the
Pull
first
this
things.
up. I need to see.
We'll
this.
have to show. Yeah,
you-
Mary.
I
Or
don't know.
it's
Well, let's
kind
go
of
to
long,
Super
but
Chats
yeah.
Go.
first. 50 Charlie said, in the voice of comic book guy, worst worm ever.
Yeah, that was
don't know
the
the
worst
voice to
worm.
use here.
The worm that he was
Yeah.
doing in the thing, right?
That was not the
Yeah,
worm.
That was not.
By the way,
Yeah.
Brett, you're talking about your struggles made me realize I need to get my life in gear. 5 months clean and it feels good. Stay strong, my man.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
The best thing about it is it gets not easier. It does get easier, but it's you'll notice that as you develop a good routine, that's important. Is sobriety in a lot of ways is about finding a routine that works for you, and it gets less exciting. It's absolutely less exciting. There's even oddly enough a point where like when you get sober, you're kind of high on the fact that you're not high anymore. In a way, like you're like excited about the fact that you can feel again.
High on life.
Yeah, no, like the unironically, yes. Like there was a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, air. I can actually feel air against my skin because I'm not numb from drugs 24/7. That's its own a bit of a high in its own right. And once you get through that, you can hit a bit of a lull where you have to kind of push through it and be like, okay, so this is normal now, and you sort of learn to embrace. You embrace routine, and to me, nothing is better than a lack of like any drama or problems, right? So it may be boring, especially if drug use for you, it wasn't for me, but for a lot of people, drug use goes hand in hand with living like a wild life, and you're up and down, and there's a lot of instability. So drug use a lot of times goes along with instability. Now I was not stable in my life, but I wasn't out doing crazy crap all the time, crazy shit all the time. So like once you learn to embrace not liking the feeling of being stable, like once you learn to like the feeling of being stable, you'll be a lot better off. So.
Brewmaster Monk said, my personal rule for footwear is that if they get in the way of me running away from a bear, then I don't wear them.
Say that again?
Do you encounter a lot of bears that you need to run away from? It's a weird phobia
Out
you
there
have.
in New Hampshire, maybe? More New Hampshire people?
Susan Inspiration said, I customize shoes as a side hustle, and I'm so tempted to paint the upper part of those bright yellow Crocs. I think Mary could rock them.
There you go.
Okay.
Let's hold off on the rest. We'll come back,
right.
shall we? All right.
So there's this Twitch streamer, if you haven't heard of him, his name is Foozy or FoozyTube.
That's a
And
real name.
He's been doing a subathon stream on Twitch for the past 40 days, I think. He's been banned twice, and the controversies are just spreading more and more from the stuff that he's doing on this stream. He seems to be in the middle of a manic episode or something, so get well soon, Foozy. The first thing that happened was he said the N-word on stream accidentally twice. And in one case, he threw an absolute tantrum. Like, he had an actual meltdown on live after saying the N-word, singing along to a rap song. Let's take a look at that video first.
Is that the TMZ one?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
My favorite artist is J. Cole. Whenever I rap his songs, he drops the
Or do we want to watch the
No,
actual meltdown?
the meltdown. The
okay.
meltdown, yeah.
Of course.
Because there's beauty in the struggle
Having an existential crisis.
Not stable.
I never use that word. I swear to fucking God this isn't content. I never use that fucking word. I've listened to rap songs every day on this subathon, and I always change it out for brother. I had a tweet that literally said,
We'll never know what the tweet literally said.
What did he literally say? We may never know.
So that contributed to his first ban, but the second one, which is still in effect, came after he was accused of exploiting a woman who is a victim of human trafficking.
Oh boy. This story
He was in an airport, and he walked up to an airport bar and saw a good-looking blonde woman started making conversation, sharing stories, this and that.
As one is wont to do in an airport bar.
They took a selfie kissing each other to send to his Discord to piss them off, he said.
It's the greatest F-boy line ever. It's such I love it. Like I'm here for it, bro. Like go on.
She then reveals to him that she was sold in the sex trade.
And he's like content. Let's make content on it.
Can I send you $300 to your Cash App and then hook up with you in the airport bathroom?
Yep.
That was basically his move. So let's look at that video.
This is
first.
the which one first? The
Fuzi accused of taking advantage of a drunk sex trafficking victim.
All right, hold on.
Do you believe that he was predatory in this clip?
Yeah. All right, here, and we're starting it at the whole. Are we watching the whole thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing. All right, here we go, guys.
Because you really need to just take in the story, and also imagine yourself as the airport bartender.
It's the best part. This poor guy. Okay. Let me refresh here.
Such a bad person. I'm such a dickhead. I'm not. I'm a great person.
I can tell.
How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm so good.
It's a cult, basically. I'm not kidding you.
You're in a cult?
Yeah.
You're sober?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
no.
cool. I have a Discord, right? With like 8,000 members. Can I send them a picture of me and you kissing? Yeah. To piss them off?
It is the most F-boy line ever.
Oh.
They're gonna cancel me for this. I don't care.
Why?
I have a boner right now.
Well, that's
Do something
I
worthy
swear to
of
God,
being.
you could feel it under
Hold
my
on.
pee for this. I don't care though. I have a boner right now. I swear to God, you could feel it under my pants. I swear to God.
Oh my God. Don't tell me.
Don't laugh at that.
Don't tempt you with a good time. Would you join the Mile High Club with me?
So I got sold into the sex trade.
You got sold in the sex trade? I actually care about this shit because I'm like an advocate for like against sex trading and all that shit. What
He's
happened?
like an advocate.
Shouldn't everyone care?
He starts rubbing her back. What happened?
He's such a bad person.
First of all, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you being this honest. This is a real conversation.
No, it's real.
My audience might not understand, but I've been there. I used to be a sex addict, so I used prostitutes for years.
Used to be.
I used massage parlors for years, so I understand. How long were you stuck under his spell?
About 6-7 months.
Really? I'm sorry to hear that. Look, I just sent you a little something.
So he just sent her $300 on Cash App.
Oh my God.
And he's getting his fans to donate more money to send to her, which did not get sent to her.
Right after he tried to bang her in the bathroom.
This is before that.
Oh, it didn't happen yet.
This girl is saying all the things.
He's like not listening.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. He's having me sit on his side in the courtroom.
Can I say something real quick? Hey,
Your
to
words
everybody
just
who's sitting
said.
here like, oh my God, you kissed her, da-da-da. This woman was involved in sex trafficking. The guy who manipulated her and brainwashed her is a piece of fucking shit and deserves to die. So yes, I sent her $300 so she can start removing her tattoo and see her kids this weekend. I'm against that. I'm a sex addict. A lot of the women that I used to get handjobs from were sex trafficked.
he used to
and I'm
be.
so ashamed in that. So if I have a chance to help somebody,
So he puts his camera face toward the bar for like 20 minutes, and then they come back like this.
as the mile. Sorry. I just joined the Mile High Club.
No, he
And I
didn't.
know it doesn't count as the Mile High Club because I was in the airport, but I still joined it. I swear to God. I swear on everything I love. I swear on everything I love. I just joined the Mile High Club in the airport.
Justin G says people watch this guy. Yes, people watch this guy.
No.
I swear to God, Wallah, I had to confess. I couldn't hold it for a fucking second. I didn't go to buy her no fucking snacks. I joined the Mile High Club. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have shared that. I'm sorry.
He immediately backtracks.
I'm lying, by the way. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a huge joke. It's a huge joke.
God,
It's a
he's a
huge
mess.
joke. I'm typing I'm sorry in chat. It's a huge joke. It's a huge joke. You got pranked. You got pranked by Fousey too. You got pranked by Fousey. And I got exposed tonight. I'm not a good person.
So he starts having a mental breakdown afterwards.
He needs medicine.
Yeah.
He claims to be on all his medications.
Yeah, he actually says that. He goes, I'm taking all my meds.
You should try that darkroom therapy.
Maybe some herbal medicine. Natural therapy.
I wish I had a
Parasite
weed
cleanse.
right now. I wish I had.
He needs a
Yeah,
parasite.
and I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
for
y'all.
many reasons.
I effed up badly. I have a lot of skeletons in my closet. I'm not a good person. I'm sorry. So immediately his fans turned their backs on him, and he had a mental breakdown afterwards. So let's watch the next video of Fuzi explaining himself to this airport bartender who just probably has heard crazier things in their lifetime, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go.
They're like, let it out, man.
But the girl was sex trafficked, man, and I feel guilty about that.
He's just like, he's
because I used to
not
mess
real.
with
This guy
girls
can't
who
be
were sex
real.
trafficked.
It's real.
And the fact that she was one of them makes me feel like absolute shit, dog. And no one's gonna understand that, but I understand that.
His lip filler's migrating.
It's guilty.
Let it out, man. He's like pressing the cocktail napkin against his eyes. And he puts the sunglasses on and starts pretending that he's still crying. I don't see a single tear.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
So Drama Alert has been calling him out for this. I don't know. Do you guys think that he was predatory in that video? Or?
Of course.
I'm jaded and I don't believe anything anyone says on the internet. I think it was staged.
You think so?
I think it was staged.
I can believe that.
Also, let's like make this clear. You're not in the Mile High Club because you hooked up with
Exactly.
a prostitute
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
airport
Yeah.
bathroom. I'm sorry. No, you can't just claim that stolen valor.
It is absolutely stolen valor, and there are plenty of people who have risked getting arrested for far closer quarters, and you're stealing all of their accomplishments from them.
Yeah, it's not fair.
He came in way too hot.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny when he went like, "Oh, I actually care about that because I'm like an advocate against like sex trading."
It speaks to the cynicism of like online culture and promoting causes like that, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm like an advocate.
I'm an
bro.
advocate. Can I
Yeah,
pay
like,
you
you just-
$300
sleep
for
with
sex,
me?
by the way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
I'm such an advocate. You want to go in the
Yeah.
bathroom?
Yeah.
She was never to be seen again.
like he's literally, I'm sure, exactly like the guy she's talking about about the guy that she was trying to
He's
get away
like,
from.
that guy
Yeah.
is a piece of fucking shit.
So you want to go hook up? Or what? Like, and then people were asking, like, do people actually watch this? Yes, people
Yeah.
watch guys like this. People like these have huge audiences.
Yep.
So
And
you
look,
know,
I feel like he has totally lost himself, and he's just too addicted to the attention. And I don't know how much money he makes. If he makes money,
Probably a
to
lot,
where,
yeah.
like he legitimately, it looks like he's acted mentally unstable for so long that he legitimately is at this point. Like,
So he's still on a suspension from Twitch. This was his apology, his Notes app apology. He said, I didn't recognize myself. I've been mean, angry, aggressive, rude, selfish, ego-driven, and to be frank, a bit manic. I'm on all my medications and still pray 5 times a day.
he
And some
Muslim?
comments said, he is, yeah. Same cycle just keeps repeating over and over. He can't seem to let go of the past and be a normal human being. It's insane how fast this guy destroys everything that's good for him just by being a terrible person. It's like he's not fully conscious sometimes, like some ego robot is driving him.
do you think that
It's
on
called
some-
clout.
Do you think on some level, do you
Hedonism.
think on some level, like people like this resonate with people who watch stuff online because they are so willing to just make fools of themselves?
Why do you think he has a fan base to begin
Yeah.
with? It's not because they like his personality. It's because he's self-destructive, and it's like you can't take your eyes off of a train wreck.
But not just that, but I think a lot of times like there ends up becoming a fine line between like there is a skill set to become like a successful streamer where you have to be personable, likable, and seem like a real actual person to people.
Yeah,
Right?
engaging.
Like to actually
To an extent, I
well yeah, no,
guess.
to actually I'm not saying that they are that what they're portraying is real. I'm saying they're very good at portraying an image of something that feels real to the audience watching them. It's entertaining, but it feels like you're actually interacting, or not interacting with, but you're watching someone that actually is a fully fledged person. But then it's a very short walk from that to like, I would do something stupid as well, and so they're looking at it, they're like, wow, even normal people who screw up all the time can become famous on on these platforms.
Maybe I can try.
Maybe I can try. Like that's what it feels like to me.
But this is how a lol cow is born. People just feed into their self-destructive behavior, and it never ends.
How did Supreme Patty become famous?
I haven't heard of that.
You've never heard Supreme Patty? He likes to squeeze citrus juice into his eyes and
What?
like yeah, he's had
Is that his whole like thing?
It's a big part of it, and like he got into fighting, like boxing. He lost a lot of weight. He had these face treatments because I guess he had really bad acne, so he's starting these like innovative acne treatments. It's like microneedling,
squeezing lemon juice onto your face. Does
not
that
onto
help?
the face. He just likes to do it into his eyeballs. I don't know. He's very entertaining, and
is he also on Twitch or like a
I don't think he's
YouTuber?
on Twitch. I don't know. Maybe the audience knows that one, but
I haven't heard of that person.
No.
But there are just too many examples to count now.
Yeah,
People who just have
just do
followings
things.
because they're
Yeah.
self-destructive, mentally ill people.
Yeah.
Another comment said, "What a stupid moron. Dude just couldn't keep it to himself. He had to tell the whole world everything he did. Even then, he immediately realized and tried to say it was a joke."
Mm-hmm.
And then another one said, "This guy had a whirlwind 3-week career." I bet that he's made ungodly amounts of money on Twitch.
Well, he was a prank tuber, wasn't he? Back in the day.
Yeah. He's been getting made fun of on the internet for longer than I can remember.
I'm just saying, like, his language, that was the most F-boy language ever. Like, if you were to imagine a dude who's just the worst example.
Well, she's, like, literally explaining her experience of, like, being in a cult, being in the sex trade.
He's on his phone.
He's like, yeah. So can I tell you something?
I just gave her $300.
Yeah. Like, that's the definition of F-boy. Like, she's telling you this deeply traumatic story in a hotel bar, and you're like, yeah, but my Discord, am I right?
Like, no, but worse, it's not a hotel bar, it's an airport bar.
Or yeah,
I think that's even worse.
Yeah.
Do you think that the airport bartender had like the best story to bring home that night?
Probably.
We need to hear his side of the story. What did he witness?
There's a great show to be made about like hotel bartenders who see crazy stuff happen all the time.
It's crazy though that he seemed to have gotten more backlash for saying the N-word than for this.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's.
Like,
I think
that's
it's an
the
easier...
greatest sin that you can commit on the internet. Really, is singing along to a rap song.
Because you can get banned for that. You can get banned for this.
Yeah.
I think part of it is like it's an easier narrative to follow. Like when people hear this story, like it sounds almost too ridiculous to be true, but it is true.
You think he's gonna get his Twitch account back?
Probably eventually.
The
Right?
selective enforcement on Twitch is crazy, and the fact that people just get randomly banned for no explanation all the time, and meanwhile this person is allowed to stream for like 40 days straight. You can't you cannot stream your entire life for 46 days and not be a wreck from doing so.
That's exhausting.
That inherently is going to cause some problems for you.
And it's, I mean, there'll probably be studies done someday about how people who made a career of streaming, how it affected their ability to have families, have social lives, and be human beings outside of that world. Because I'll tell you what, like, we don't do that, but like even after doing a show for 2 hours, I'm like, because I guess I'm
Just
also
dead
more
to the world.
I'm more I'm more naturally introverted, so it's like it's a little bit more work for me.
I like to think that we're a little bit of an echelon above streamers like this. I don't think of us as live streamers. I think of us as podcasters. I know it's like
There's a
splitting
difference.
hairs, but
Yeah.
you know, we're not broadcasting our personal lives.
Right, you're not putting on a show and like playing a character while pretending to not be.
We're just broadcasting other people's personal lives. It's totally different.
We're worse. We're somehow worse. We're leeches, Mary. We're leeches. And I guess I also like to think that like most of I'd be pretty much the same off air as I am on air.
Right.
I don't
I'd
feel
say.
that I'm that different off air. So I just wonder if these types of slow motion car wrecks are just going to end up being like what ends up being the reason why there is no canceling one day. Because it's like if this dude just waits it out and comes back and people don't care.
He's kind of been canceled so many times and come back so many times that it's like chaotic neutral. Like you can't really cancel someone 14 times in a row.
Yeah, like the person who has to worry isn't the Fousey tubes of the world. It's the person who's carefully curated a perfectly tailored public image that they have to then worry about finally screwing up. Like him saying the N-word is one thing, but some dude who's been making, much more low-key content for a long time lets it slip.
That's kind of what happened with Jenna Marbles when she canceled herself preemptively before anyone could do it to her. She was the one that showed people her problematic past and then just disappeared off of YouTube forever.
That's
Eugene
legendary.
in the chat just insulted us. He said, "You are serious journalists, Brett and Mary. I take offense to that.
I won't see any more of those slurs.
I will not have my name slandered in such a manner, my friend. That is not kind. It's not nice. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's just rude.
All right.
What did I do to you?
Call people
Let's get
names.
through some super chats. We have a lot here. Corey Anderson said, Cody's sister and I have done the math. I've super chatted $863 to PCC. Brett, tell Hannah Claire I said hi. LOL.
For $800?
If anything, that does justify it, you know. But thank you.
Hannah Claire's gonna be like, I cost $1,000 at least to say hi to me.
Hold on. Wait, who just sent that one?
Corey Anderson.
I'm sending her a message right now.
No, he wants it to be in person. He wants that.
Hannah
Give him what he paid for. Then we got a $20 one from Sue's Inspiration. A natural introvert turned podcaster. Good job, Brett. Way to step into your confidence. Way to live your truth, King. Live your truth. Choose your own happiness.
Bro.
We're wearing him down today.
We don't talk like that here. I'm gonna need you to cool it with the feminist weird college lingo. Not everything needs to sound like it comes from a publicist. Just it's okay to stop. It's fine.
Corey Anderson said, once the lights go out, how is this chubster going to know who's wearing a mask? Good point. Yeah.
I like the idea that some agent of chaos goes and purposely just picks the mask up and goes.
I was thinking about that. You're just asking for trouble.
They all get COVID.
They stop by a hospital wing on the way there and go in just
licking all the doorknobs,
and then go into the movie and then just and just cough all over everything. Jeez.
Big Dave sent $1 without a message. Thank you.
Let's do one more and then we'll move on.
Tacty Platty said, Brett, first time saw AJ was on Timcast, no lube. Oh, the first time that he saw Alex Jones was on Timcast.
Yeah, but you were but being on the fact that you were watching Timcast was the lube.
He probably was in this room.
The question is did you just one day go on the internet and go uncensored.tv or ban.tv or whatever the hell his website is, and then just click the first video you saw?
You Google search on the dark web red pill ideology. You come across Alex Jones videos and then.
And
just
then
like that,
suddenly,
you go down the alt-right pipeline and
the frogs are gay
conspiracy
Honey, our
theorist.
son's been red pilled.
like that didn't happen. Tim was your lube for that conversation.
You know what? That's true.
He is the one.
Weirdly enough,
he's the one who eased it in to the Alex Jones discussion. All right, let's hold off on the rest, and we will come back, shall we?
Okay.
Now that I've grossed everyone out.
Supermodel Bella Hadid has just come out of an intensive 100-day-long treatment for chronic Lyme disease, a condition which is dubious according to the medical field. Her and her mother both, and her brother Anwar, all allegedly have Lyme disease, chronic Lyme.
Is it
everyone is turned into house to say, bitch, it's not lupus.
Is it genetic? Is it something that has a genetic component? You're more likely to get it if the family gets it?
I think people say that if a mom has Lyme disease and she gets pregnant, then the baby could just inherit it from her. I don't really know the science behind that, but that's what she claims. It's giving Royal Pains though, because
the show Royal Pains.
Yeah,
I will talk. I will do a whole podcast on just the show Royal Pains, ladies and gentlemen.
Her mother Yolanda was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and made this whole storyline out of how she had chronic Lyme. She was doing all these treatments and nothing was working. Thank you.
Can we get a third one? Guys, we got 3 crisis parties yesterday and Monday. You don't want to let the ladies down, do you?
If some random prostitute at the airport can get $300, I think that we deserve that.
There you go.
The bare minimum.
Like, ladies and gentlemen, like, don't you want to be good to the women on this show?
Anyway,
the culture.
Yolanda, she was getting all of these alternative treatments for her chronic Lyme, and then suddenly she realizes that she needs to remove her breast implants, which were leaking silicone into her body, and suddenly she was all better. Weird how that happens,
so she
right?
doesn't have Lyme disease?
A lot of people think that she was faking it, as a lot of affluent white women do. But a lot of people are saying that Bella is faking her Lyme disease as well, and that she was almost Munchausen by proxied into being diagnosed with it and went to a bunch of alternative medicine doctors to get a fake treatment for it. They also think that she's using the treatment to cover up going to like rehab for drug addiction, or she's using it to cover up some other illness.
My favorite is whenever celebrities go to rehab for exhaustion.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are bringing up.
Like, trust me, I went to rehab and there wasn't nobody in rehab there for exhaustion.
They just didn't need a long nap or anything.
No, I mean, depending on how much meth you do, you can be exhausted.
So Bella posted a carousel of pictures from when she was in treatment, looking very, hot and skinny and having a bunch of tubes all over her and having an IV bag.
I'm in my Lyme disease era.
She was in her Lyme disease era. Okay, now she's in her comeback era, but she posted her medical records on Instagram, which is kind of weird.
That seems like someday she's going to sue a doctor for HIPAA violations, and they're going to be like,
So it says that she suffered from fatigue, made worse by physical exercise, attention deficit, calculation difficulties, memory disturbances, frequently saying the wrong words, depression, sleep disorders, numbness, tingling sensations, headaches, disequilibrium, lightheadedness, nightmares, ringing in her ears, muscular weakness, intolerance to bright lights, non-restorative sleep.
I'm going to say right now,
that sounds like an eating disorder.
To be honest,
that's true. A lot of people are saying she's using this to cover up an ED treatment that she had to go through.
Erectile dysfunction treatment.
No.
But I'm just saying, all those symptoms would have fallen in line with strung out Brett back in the day too, most of the time.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's lining up.
I feel like it's when you WebMD something and you have every symptom of every disease and you're like, I have headaches. I get tired sometimes.
The meme is it's like when you look up what's wrong with you on WebMD and it says you should just be dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
So one comment said, kind of weird to share your medical records on Instagram, but okay. Another one said, I don't get it. One bacteria is caused by deer ticks, other by a cat scratch that has parasites, and third by a tick. How do you get all at once? And how are they all resistant to treatment for over 10 years? It's very weird. Yeah. Another said, it's interesting how so many celebrities get Lyme disease, but I've lived in the South my whole life. My friends and I have pulled ticks off of us since childhood, and no one around here has ever gotten Lyme disease.
I mean, that's anecdotal at best. Like, it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
We do hear a lot about, chronic Lyme disease, which isn't an actual diagnosis from specifically affluent celebrities. It is a weird coincidence, that's all. But she went to TikTok to shut down rumors of her going to rehab for drugs. She said, I know I look sick. You don't have to tell me twice. And no, I wasn't in rehab. No, I don't do drugs. So can we all drop it now that I've filled you in? But the rumors continue spreading. I don't know.
Is that a PICC line in her arm? What is that?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
She's like making being medicalized sexy again. That's what she's looking to do.
That's true, yeah.
She's like, look, there's like when you're stepping into your beauty at the doctor's office, I've got to add stepping into your beauty now. You're not just stepping into your confidence, you're stepping into your beauty. And you're showing the world. The thing, I think it's
Lyme visibility.
It's also, not to be off topic, but I think that the ability to come up with those ridiculous slogans must be a female thing, because I always notice them when I see other people say them, but I can't just come up with that type of flowery language off the top of my head. Like, who was the first person who said stepping into my confidence? Who do you think that was?
Whoever that was, we need to find them and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Another comment said, how does a whole family have the same disease? How did they know that they got bit by ticks? How did they not know that they got bit by ticks? If they did know, how are they still having symptoms years and years later? And her own sister Gigi doesn't have it. So that's a weird coincidence too. And another person said, I assumed it had become a new rehab or surgery cover, like when they go to the hospital for or rehab for, quote, exhaustion.
I love it. Look, at the same time, I joke about that, but you have a right to your privacy.
She's
for
literally
things like
posting her
that.
medical
Yeah.
records
But I'm
on
saying,
Instagram,
I'm saying for
though.
the other ones who don't post about that stuff on their medical records on their Instagram and stuff like that. I get the instinct for privacy when you're going through something like that. Certainly, I never took that route because I always felt like if you're going through something, whether it's them with an eating disorder or issues with addiction, I think that for powerful people, they kind of have a different scale they have to judge it on because they're judged differently than the average person. But for me personally, I'm not famous. I don't have to worry about that. To me, the secrecy behind it was always worse for me because that's how it was when I used. I hid it from everyone. So I had to go the opposite direction when I got clean. But I understand why people of high social visibility, where their brand deals can be affected by these things though these days. Like, can you imagine a brand like, yeah, we're going to dump you because you're an addict? No, what they're going to do is they're going to recalibrate and say, no, we're going to stick with you because you're going to be a symbol for change. And so they don't even need to dump
You can
these
be an
people anymore.
advocate
You
or
can
an
be
activist.
You can join FouseyTube as an advocate for somebody.
Have you guys watched The Act on Hulu?
No.
Okay, this is about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and her mother had Munchausen's by proxy, where she would medicalize her daughter, give her all these treatments that she didn't need. She was a perfectly healthy kid. She gave her a feeding tube that she didn't need. And eventually this was going to kill her. And it ended up being like this huge story because she and her boyfriend murdered her mother and ran away.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And it was turned into a TV show for Hulu because why the heck not?
Exploit their story.
But now people are accusing Bella Hadid's mother of doing basically the same thing by, pressuring her into getting this diagnosis and getting all of these treatments because she inherited it from her mother. And people don't even believe that her mother has it.
And there's no way to test for it.
Like, what do you guys
Lyme's
think about
disease,
people who have these
you
fictitious
have it.
disorders or medical problems that can't really be fixed, can't be defined?
Well, that's the point, right? The medical industry loves that stuff because it keeps you heavily medicated and it keeps you within the clutches of the industry. So big pharma, they love it when you have conditions that require 9 different medications to take care of. And obviously, nobody's saying that there aren't people with real conditions that are hard to diagnose, right? But the idea here is that for a celebrity, it's a little bit different. It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, no, you do have to test with a blood test for Lyme's disease. Most places won't just do it, but usually if you have it, you would know you had it. And especially if you're, I don't think there's a lot of ticks in LA from what I know.
No.
When I briefly spent time like in New Hampshire, and for the first time I heard about a lot of people having Lyme's disease there, a lot of people who had it and cured it naturally as well, which is also something that I had never heard of because it can be really painful and really intense.
Yeah, it really hurts the joints.
Yeah. So like I've heard of a variety of different cures and natural remedies for curing Lyme's disease. I don't know as much about like Western medicine in terms of it being how they go about treating or curing Lyme's disease.
Yeah, and how long does it take to cure it naturally too?
I got a $20 from Nathan Koss. It's anecdotal, but I live in West Central PA. Got bit by a tick on my hip, got sick, big bullseye rash, got a blood test and had Lyme's. You take an antibiotic and it's gone, no big deal. Yeah, that's what people's point here is like, you have to be suspicious of it when they say that they have it 10 years later because there's no proven treatment for chronic Lyme.
I've got myself some long COVID and I'm going to be suffering forever. Long COVID.
Yeah. And if you're like someone who has a pathological need for attention, then you might take advantage of that.
There's a $20 one there from Tom Bombadil.
PSA for tick safety. They hate cinnamon, lavender, mint, and vinegar. Any of these scents will repel ticks. I don't mind smelling like a pastry. Or mix 1 part vinegar with 9 parts water and spray your pets, comb their fur.
So find yourself a woman that loves the smell of cinnamon, lavender, mint, and vinegar.
Just go around with spray bottle.
Yeah, and just let that be the...
Spray them like a cat that's misbehaving. And then Also, there are some people who are celebrating that Bella Hadid is sick.
And that's not good either.
Because she's Palestinian.
Oh my God.
Which is evil.
This says, in a blatant expression of Zionist sadism, Israeli mainstream news outlet is celebrating that Bella Hadid has been hospitalized with Lyme disease. Quote, next time, think before you trash Israel, Miss Bella.
Like, this
I hate
is
it.
evil.
Yeah,
So
I hate it when people are just waiting for people to fall or mess up or something bad happen to them just so they can be like, see, this is for that one time that you did this.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Other people said, good news, she deserves it. Karma. Everyone gets what they deserve eventually.
so
Finally,
rude.
something interesting. May you continue to live and suffer.
This is what Mary does whenever I get
and
sick. She's like, this is what you get for not being Catholic.
May you
Brett.
continue to
May you
live.
continue to suffer in pain for not going
I'm
back
just
to
going
church.
by your words. People should suffer in silence and die young. It's the American way.
That was propaganda. Okay, like
I'll let you
nobody
borrow my women's Bible, Brett.
Nobody
There you
understands
go.
sarcasm anymore. Nobody gets it. Everyone knows I am the ray of sunshine, the white pill of this podcast.
But yeah, this just gave me big Royal Pains vibes.
I love that show.
Affluent white women who just really want to be medicalized and
See, the fun fact.
first world problems.
I love, like, I have a couple of stories there. First of all, I think the term first world problems is how we solve all the problems that we're living in right now, because everybody's worrying about the oppression Olympics and about, the scale for which your different levels of trauma and oppression, how they rate compared to other people's. But at the end of the day, if you were born in America, you really were born into the lottery, right? So first world problems was a way to both acknowledge the fact that you had it very, very well here in the U.S., but also brought everyone together because everyone else here was born here as well. We need to get back to that and not just like born in Calabasas problems. Those are certainly different problems than ours, but first world problems was the great unifier. And we need to bring that term back. Also, Royal Pains is a one-of-a-kind show because it was the only show that I can imagine ever getting made that it would never be made now, because it portrayed obscenely rich people as quirky and not evil. And now they would just be like, they're portrayed as out of touch and a bit obtuse because their money disconnects them from the real world, but it's never shown in a malicious way. It's like, because they're all, at the end, most of them are good people, right? Like, a lot of them is like they've got the same weight, the same staff of people who have worked for them for 20 years, and it's like, oh, I consider them family. You could tell that same story now, and that person would be portrayed as evil. But back then, everybody sort of respected each other, so you didn't have that type of negative attention just because they were wealthy. Also, how Ezra Miller got his start, so maybe it's not so good.
Oh, true.
Maybe it's not so good, but
Yeah.
I don't. I've heard Lyme disease is pretty serious. Didn't Avril Lavigne almost die from Lyme disease or something?
Yeah, people questioned it when she said she had chronic Lyme too.
So it is real.
It is.
Everyone
No, it's
turns
real.
in your house when someone gets a diagnosis in Hollywood.
It's like you're strung out, and they're like, it's not drugs, it's Lyme disease, as you're just dying of withdrawal.
Yeah.
Like I'm going through Lyme disease withdrawal. That's what it'll be. Do you think she's faking it?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me.
It speaks to the nature of how important it is to be perceived a certain way in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That they have to be rigidly in control of every decision that they make because perception is everything.
Whether or not she's actually sick, she's getting a huge good publicity boost right before she comes back to modeling. So it is good for her in a marketing perspective. Doesn't mean that she's faking it necessarily.
Yep. It's and it also speaks to just how different our problems are in the world than the average celebrity.
Jamie Foxx totally pissed away his opportunity to get sympathy, making that anti-Semitic post.
That wasn't
Tisk, tisk.
anti-Semitic.
Oh, I
That
didn't
wasn't
hear about that.
anti-Semitic.
I think he apologized for it, right? Or tried
Yes.
to. Yeah.
He did. They always. And then somebody yesterday was like, this one aged poorly, because we had a video that was titled, it was like Jamie Foxx and Neo fold like accordions. But then then Neo's like, psych, I'm not apologizing. And we're like, could you have done that 30 minutes earlier so we could have covered it on
He
the same
literally
day?
put that out while we were covering it, so we didn't see it.
No.
Yep. All right.
What are the side effects of Ozempic?
Have you seen those photos of
Getting
You look
skinny,
great.
becoming a skinny legend.
looking absolutely fantastic?
Fitting into your jeans.
You may gain weight from looking like a snack.
It does seem depressing to never be hungry, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm sure like vitamin
just take a bunch of Adderall.
like-
You can understand what it's like to never be hungry.
Oh yeah.
I spent many years not hungry, Mary. It is depressing, and it is actually, in fact, that's actually one thing that happens. Like when you go off of it or you stop taking uppers of some sort, you're like, oh my god, food! Holy shit,
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's wild.
That's a thing, right? Like, 'cause
yeah.
you're like, you haven't actually enjoyed eating food for an extended period of time,
Yeah.
so that when you do, you're like, oh my, you actually taste the food now. It's
Yeah.
not just something that
Yeah.
you're eating to keep yourself from passing out.
Yeah, exactly.
So people who've tried out Ozempic, they say that it just makes you feel lethargic and like you just ate all the time, but not full. Which sounds
sounds
Really?
horrible.
That sounds
horrible, but you
terrible.
got to do what you got to do to become a skinny legend.
Did you see the
Yeah.
picture of Jonah Hill that posted the other day?
Yeah.
And it says, looks like somebody whose girlfriend isn't out swimming with other people or surfing with
When your girlfriend doesn't surf with dudes. He's like beaming, just absolutely
He's just
Yeah.
like, he's got his shirt
happiness.
tucked in because he's so skinny now. He can like fit it into
He's
those
such an
pants.
alpha. He's
He
just
is. Yeah.
thriving.
He's like, he's like, no woman of mine's going out.
He
on
has
the,
that
in the
post
ocean
breakup
today.
glow up, the
is.
post cancellation glow up.
You know what?
right.
If that's what he's got to do to keep his woman from surfing with dudes, then so be it.
That's right.
Ozempic should turn this into
Live
like a
your
mar-
truth, Jonah.
Ozempic should use this as like a marketing technique where it's like, if you want to prevent your woman from surfing with dudes, take Ozempic, and they can start selling it. That way they can fill the market share with dudes too, not just women. Because there's going to be, chubby dudes who are going to want to take it.
True.
True. All right, let's go to Super Chat, shall we?
Grin said, "Hey Siri, clip Brett saying can't go no lube on AJ like that. P.S. Day 5 MABGA kids. Do the guests agree with the movement? MABGA is Make American Bullying Great Again. By the way,
American bullying.
I spent my
why
whole
why
career
am I
pretending
hearing
to be a
Fousey
good
Tube
person. What can
having
I
a
do?
mental
Ghost of
breakdown?
Fousey passed.
What's happening? Just came to haunt the show.
He's like, psych, bitches, I'm back. Which one of you wants
Can't
to?
get rid of me.
He's like, which one of you wants to make out with me to make my Discord jealous?
Corey Anderson said Lizzo resembles the poop emoji, and then he sent it like 3 times because I guess YouTube wasn't letting him send it.
That's not nice. YouTube is
That's
very
bad.
censorship happy these days.
Tom Bombadil said, "You have to manifest what you want to see. Someone make an Ancient Aliens guy meme with Mary saying demons. They're humanity's favorite scapegoat."
Well, can somebody like give Mary that guy's hair? I love that guy's hair. The ancient alien guy's hair. It's amazing.
Corey Anderson said 2 other super chats saying that Lizzo is the poop emoji. We get it, bro. Shane H. Wilder said, "Just because you don't acknowledge the demonic doesn't mean they don't acknowledge you. Playing with that ish, even in jest, is always dangerous." Agree. Disco Jensen sent $10 without a message and then said, "Megan Fox is transitioning her sons. She's evil in my eyes."
I know one of them. I mean, they were dressing like girls. I don't know if there was medical transition going on.
No, there wasn't, but I think it's suspicious nonetheless if you have 3 boys and they're all dressed like girls. I don't think that that's just her
I thought one of
letting
them was
them
a girl.
express
I
themselves.
thought one of them was a girl though, and it's like only 2 boys. And so it's
I
like,
was under the impression she had 3 boys, but I don't know now. They have weird names, so it's hard to tell. Sean Rizig.
how do you guys feel about celebrities giving their kids weird names?
I don't know what they're doing.
I'm
I've been
gonna
confused
Be
about that.
different and give him a not weird name.
Yeah.
How about that?
Is it uncouth of me to ask? Like, do you guys have names picked out for future kids?
I do not.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
either. I switch around.
Is that like a
I play
bad
with
thing?
them.
I was telling somebody a story once how I asked a guest who came to stay here, a lady. We were like in the car one day, and I just asked her her age very blatantly, and like later. It hit me after the fact. I'm like,
Maybe that was uncouth.
so I sent her a message. I'm like, by the way, really sorry. I just like randomly asked you your age in the middle of a car full of people. Like, I felt bad about it after the fact, but I was smart enough to understand. Like as soon as I said it, I'm like, oh.
Oh, no tact.
To be fair, she wasn't upset by it, but it could have been upsetting if it was a person who would have found
Cared
that
that
question.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only rude if after they tell you, they're like, "Whoa, I thought you were way older than that."
Yeah, right.
The years have been hard on you.
Have a
Holy
problem.
crap.
Hard living.
Awful.
Sean Razig said, Sarah, you're under investigation. I'm going to need a mandatory body inspection. Okay.
Why?
You're weird.
Well, we just had that story we passed on yesterday about the Miss Universe pageant people. They were forcing the women to do body inspections.
Oh,
And
because of the trans issue?
I have no idea, but my favorite part was like the top comment was like, "How dare they not allow me in with my female body inspector jacket on, my FBI windbreaker."
I want to know whose idea that was.
Yeah.
I heard
Wow.
that
It was in Jakarta that they were doing this. This wasn't here in the U.S.
I heard that big boobs set off the alarms at TSA. Just I don't know why, but I heard that.
Too
somewhere.
compacted.
Yeah, because they think you're hiding weapons in there.
Yeah, so they had to get frisked.
Oh, okay.
So all the guys are like, look,
packing heat.
so all the male TSA agents are like, look, I'm not a perv, I'm a patriot, and I really want to save this country from the next great terrorist attack. And if that means that I have to inspect a bunch of women in an airport, then I guess so be it, they say.
You have to ask for a female. I don't think you even have to ask.
Yeah,
they
I
just
don't think
bring
you have
one,
to.
and usually I'll make them go into a room because I like to opt out. I try to, But when I don't have time and we have to just do it out there, I'm always like,
wait, do they have you actually been inspected? Like, I just have to go through like the X-ray thing.
If you opt out?
Are you saying opt out of the X-ray?
Yeah.
When you opt out of the full body scan, because
Okay.
there's a lot of radiation, and like people will ask sometimes, the agents will be like, "Why do you opt out?" This is a whole tangent, but yeah, it's not good for you.
I never thought about that.
I've opted out before.
Here's the thing. For somebody like me, I'm like,
You're different. You're built different. What is it?
Let's hear it.
It's
Let's
kind
hear
of
this
like
take.
it would be like me complaining about bad foods when you like, it's like, oh my god, food's so unhealthy. It's like when you think of like all the bad shit I put in my body for years, like it's like, yeah, you did tons of drugs and abused yourself.
But you want to do it on your own terms.
Yeah, right. It's
right. I don't want to be forced to.
like, sorry, I don't trust your
Yeah, you opt out and head straight to the McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
Then go get vaccinated.
Mr. X said poetry is the art of not getting to the point and saying what you mean. That's why women like it so much.
Oh.
But some of the best poets are men.
Well, I mean, there was this video the other day that this guy released where he's talking. It's like this woman who's listing all of the ways women dunk on men, and he systematically goes through it and like refutes the point. It's a little cringe, but he like mentions one about like women had to do all the cooking because men don't know how to cook, and he just looks up top 10 chefs and it's all men except and like that's like the big own for part of it. It's like, Gordon Ramsay has entered the chat. Like when you think of chefs, who do you think of first?
Right.
Him.
It's because
Emerald,
they are
Chef
misogynists.
Boyardee.
Martha Stewart.
Chef
Boyardee.
Martha Stewart wasn't a chef though.
She was more of like a home.
She was a home person, and she was. I like her because she defrauded the government. That's
she's
the
great.
real
Well,
reason.
Barefoot
gangster.
Contessa.
Libertarian.
She was an icon.
They're out there. I just
Rachel
don't remember the
Ray.
name.
Yeah.
Rachel Ray's a good one. She might be a good example of somebody who was bigger. That was always kind of accepted for being.
She
a
was
bit
skinny
bigger.
in the 2000s.
Was she?
From
Was she
what I
skinnier?
remember.
Skinnier back then?
Paula Deen.
Paula Deen. That was the one I was
couldn't
trying to
remember her
think of.
name.
Didn't she also say the N-word once?
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that.
Never mind.
Matthew Williams said, Mary will say this annoyed and with disdain. However, I'll speak the truth. Men care about tiggle bitties over eyelashes. I don't know when it became this false dichotomy. Like you can care
only
about
care about
multiple
one.
things at
Yeah.
once. But we were
Well,
we went way too hard joking about the eyelash debate today.
You know why that is? You know why the guys feel that way? It's because they're sick of staring at a woman's chest and say, eyes up here! And they look at you and you've got these long-ass eyelashes and they're already in a bad mood because they're being scolded. So they're like, they associate long eyelashes with rudeness because they just want to stare at your chest and you're telling them, look up here, and you don't got the eyelash and you got these long eyelashes. Like, why would I want to look
I will
up
say,
here?
Peek into the male psyche.
The glue-on eyelash extensions look terrible 100% of the time.
They never look good.
Yeah.
No.
They get
And I've
pretty
heard
squirrely.
cases where people get those and they go blind from it.
Yeah.
Like, it was not worth it.
It's like when
at
Mary
all.
was fear-mongering me out of getting LASIK. She's like, you're gonna never be happy again.
Because your eyes won't be able to take in red light. And
Yeah,
there have
no,
been people
I
that
recommend against it.
they like
Highly.
accidentally, I guess, shave off a part of your sclera that takes in red light, so you become extremely depressed.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I did not know this
I didn't
about
hear
red
about that.
light. So
I
do you think
can't
And it
drive at
happens,
night.
like-
That's why I'm pissed.
are you
It's like
considered
how
colorblind?
sometimes when women get epidurals,
Yeah.
like a small amount of them get window pain instead of getting pain relief.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
surprisingly common.
I mean, that happens with
Interesting.
regular
That's my
opiate
brother.
use too. That can happen with regular opiate use too. Certain people have like a condition where
Yeah.
it works differently on your pain because they all work on your pain receptors.
But
just in
it's a
different
lot.
ways.
It's like 1 in 100 women that get epidurals that happen.
Yeah, and that's
There
too
was,
much.
honestly.
Too much for me to
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I put
agree.
the poll in. I just decided to end the poll now. With 87% of the vote, they say that Megan Fox is hot. That is, they have
Rather
spoken.
than hot
Okay.
and smart.
I can
hot
deal
and,
with that,
hot and
yeah.
smart got 6%.
But the
smart
real
and hot
question
got
is
4%.
she a hot smart girl or a smart hot
No,
girl?
I asked both.
hot girl.
6% said hot and smart. 4% said smart and hot.
I think she's a smart hot girl because she's primarily hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree.
Wouldn't that make her a hot smart girl? Oh no, I guess I see what you mean.
I'm glad this
See,
is like
you
the
get
great
it.
debate of our century.
get it.
I'm glad that we figured that one out.
Shane H. Wilder said, Mary might be right. I've looked everywhere for my hat only to realize I was wearing it. It was just too stationary.
Hate it when that happens. I mean, I do the thing where like I'll look around for my wallet and it's in my pocket. But I have like a smaller.
We've all been there.
Yeah. There's a $20 one there from Beanbag Actual with no message.
Okay,
Thank you, Beanbag Actual.
you.
I do like schizophrenic shit when I'm getting ready in the morning. I feel like that's why it takes me so long. Like I'll walk out of the bathroom to get something and then I'll just stop and be like, I don't know what I'm looking for. And I go back and then I go back again.
It's like an ADHD thing, isn't it?
Yeah. They say doorways are like a portal too. Like
Don't
once
tell me I have
100%
ADHD now.
Gets worse when you get older.
Vatican II Electric Boogaloo said, when I quit drugs, I found my highs were a lot lower, but my lows were a lot higher. Seeing as my lows outweighed my highs, life got a whole lot better.
Yeah, what you find is you hit like an equilibrium where, yeah, when you're happy, it's not quite the same as the artificially enhanced happiness that you feel when you use drugs, but the lows are more manageable. So you find a middle ground closer to the center. So it makes dealing with those low points easier because when you hit low points, when you're going through that, it can be really, really bad. So
instead of like a huge up and down, it's more like
and you learn to
wavelength.
appreciate the more even keel wavelength, I think. So.
Danny Body, I'm not reading that. Shane H. Wilder said, to quote Mary, I would kick it. Wait, but when were we talking about?
I don't know. Can I kick it?
Corey Anderson said Brett doesn't count.
What doesn't
count?
Just in general, in life, Brett just
Okay.
like
I might cry a little bit.
Hiroshima Otaru said, so when was Bella hanging out with deer ticks? TikTok, more like TikTok. Am
Wait,
I right?
I like the idea that Bella like goes and hunts.
Yeah.
Like she's secretly like really into hunting.
like stepping through like the tall grass. Like,
Yeah, I like that.
Nathan Koss. Oh, sorry, I already read that one. Shane H. Wilder said, have a good show tomorrow. I'll be either in a meeting or evacuating from a wildfire in the area. Both are going to suck, so prayers either way.
Thank you, my friend, and stay safe.
Yeah, be safe.
T-Bone said, long time no see, Mary and Brett. Brett, really love the blonde. Mary, when will you be on Discord? It's growing and it'd be great to see you there. I am not going to join Discord. Over the years, being an e-girl, you were asked to join Discord so many times, and you just got to say no.
Just say no, queens.
Just say no. Rockstar Podcast said, love the new demon culture crisis. I don't like this. When not actually talking about demons, all of the content feels very demonic in nature lately. Maybe that's just the world we're living in these days.
Could be true. Like, I mean, I guess we just do.
They're
live in
running
a-
wild.
you know?
They're panicking.
Well, I mean, but also like we do have the discussion where it's like when Sam Smith just shows up in red, is it demonic or like? Because they went overboard. They're like Beyonce's in red. Now she's a demon. I'm like
the color red.
I'm like sometimes you're just wearing red, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't wear red, but sometimes you're just wearing
but when
red.
you've been accused of a lot of demonic stuff, you know, I'd be careful about wearing the color red.
Yeah,
just
be a little
me.
more mindful.
Yeah.
There's a $20 one there from Cody Bedreau. Fielder's choice if you want to read that one or not.
Okay. My sister and I were born on Megan Fox's birthday.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
You guys got 3 crisis parties.
Heck yeah, we're happy.
They love me. They really love me.
My sister does not think she is hot or smart. She looks nothing like my sister, so I say the same. Okay.
Wait, I didn't understand.
C2 Gaming said, I didn't end up ordering cast brew coffee due to the shipping costs just north of our border. Have 1/4 of that cost towards party number 3. Have a good day, y'all.
Well, we appreciate that. We will take it.
Yes, gladly.
That helps us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Quite Blackpilled said Zakarian over Ramsey. Ramsey is no Iron Chef.
I don't watch any cooking shows except for, in fact, I don't watch any cooking shows. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives is not a cooking show necessarily.
I like to watch eating shows.
I like, yes.
Eat the good stuff.
I don't even like, I just like hearing the personalities of the people in these small towns that own these restaurants. They're always kind of characters, and that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like, you miss that culture. Like, what are we going to do in 20 years when it's like, we can't do that anymore because corporations have taken over. So like the best you can hope for is like franchised diners, drive-ins, and dives where they just go to franchise restaurants.
Sounds so cold.
It's like Raising Cane's.
But it's the one in Davenport, Iowa. That one this guy's owned it for 15 years. He's great. It doesn't have the soul. There's no soul in that.
Makes me think of Back to the Future. Is it part 2 where he actually goes to the future and he goes to that one restaurant that he like always used to go to and it's run by a robot? It's like a robot waiter.
Oh my God. Sad. Yeah. And that's already happening now when you go to McDonald's and there's you don't even have to check out. You don't even have to talk to a person
an app for that
anymore.
There's those robots.
You can't go up to them like an airport bartender and tell them about how you're such a bad person.
It's like, dude,
on the Passenger.
She was trafficked. I can't believe it.
Did you guys see The Passenger? It had Jennifer Lawrence in it. Was it The Passenger? I think that's what the movie was. But there was a robot bartender. They didn't know it was a robot until the face fell off. So
yeah, see, that's nightmarish.
Yeah,
make them look like robots.
People overshare to
Passengers.
like fast food workers and baristas,
and
nail techs and receptionists,
gas station
coffee,
and I can't imagine being that person. Like I would never do that.
Gas station, like people would just sit there
bad.
for like 20-30 minutes and tell me their life story
Because they're lonely.
and like the most that would do that, some people who come in to buy stuff, right? But the people who bought lottery tickets would sit there for 20 minutes and they would if they got scratch offs, they would scratch off the lottery tickets and talk to you, or they'd send you like 9 things, like a stack this thick of Powerball tickets to fill out or check. And then they would tell you their life story. It never bothered me. I just did a lot of, that's crazy. Like they just want somebody.
You are very nice.
They just want somebody to talk to.
You see the humanity. Good job, Brett.
Beanbag Actual said, I got my cast brew order yesterday and it was full of spoons. What gives? I guess Sarah
you ordered from the wrong website.
Wrong one.
That was
Dane has the controversial take that the spoon thief meme was always cringe.
Always?
Yeah. Or that it turned cringe.
Yeah.
I'm willing to hear him out on it. Darth Doza said, Brett, quick thoughts on TMNT, the 2007 animated movie. Good, bad, mid? Anybody who thinks Margot Robbie is mid is clearly blind.
I've only seen...
I'm a huge fan of hers.
Yeah.
I have only seen the animated 2007 one once or twice, and I don't remember. Let's just say this. I don't remember a whole ton of it. I know that it is held in extremely high regard as the best you're going to get from TMNT in the last 2 decades.
I'm just imagining myself as an airport bartender and you telling me.
That's what it is. But maybe I'll watch it this weekend because everybody I know holds that version of the movie in high esteem.
Corey Anderson said, I meant, Brett, that call out of HCB does not count, and Mary, it was the human dog.
I'm making a note, by the way, to say hello to HCB.
Okay.
From Corey Anderson.
Shane H. Wilder said the Kick It referred to Fousey.
Oh.
Okay, what's worse, what FouseyTube did, or dressing up as a lifelike collie and walking around in public on a leash?
What FouseyTube did?
I have to disagree.
Wrong.
Because I'm honestly not sure.
Wrong.
There's a lot of Foozies out there. They're just not all on camera. So I think the collie thing is just such a unique,
unique degeneracy.
Yes.
You don't see that often.
You can't top that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were to tell me that the collie then coerced a sex trafficking victim into a hotel or a airport
Brett.
restaurant.
It's always about consent and the non-aggression principle with you.
Yeah, how dare I?
High Voltage 75 said, thanks for making a boring workday less boring. Ghost girl, coffee girl, email girl, and not a girl. That's all Brett is not female.
Thanks, I guess. That's very nice.
Non-female host
In this
Pop
day and
Culture
age,
Crisis.
that's a compliment.
Yeah,
it's hard
like,
to differentiate.
One of my favorite like boomer memes. It's kind of like it's very much it borders on the edge of boomerdom, where you'd see it on like your mom's or your dad's Facebook, but it says like only 90s kids will remember. It says like male or female. It's like the thing where you click the button. Like I enjoyed that one. It's quick, concise, it's to the point. It's just it leans into the boomer.
You'd see it on a refrigerator magnet.
Yes. Yep.
Quite Blackpilled said, buying lottery tickets between 9 and 5 should be illegal. Bro, I'm on my break. I don't have time to wait behind while you pay your stupid tax.
Yeah.
That's why Sheetz has machines for lottery tickets now,
Oh, yeah.
so they don't have to deal with them.
Well, we had a machine that you could check to see if your ticket won or not. Like
cool.
you could scan, like in the weirdest would always be like, look, there was older people, they're on a fixed income. They buy their lottery tickets. They enjoy sitting there and they go to sit like the gas station that I worked at had like a little, like a place you could sit at, right, and drink your coffee or something like that. And the old people would buy their lottery tickets, they'd get their coffee, and they'd sit there and they'd fill it out, or they'd scratch it off. But then there'd be people that were clearly like the gambling addicts who would buy it. They would just scratch off the barcode and just check, like manically check all the barcodes to see if any of them won. I'm like, what's the
They're
fun
waiting
in
to get that jackpot so they can divorce their husbands and keep the money.
Exactly. I just always thought that was a little bit sad. Like the old people doing it, they're socializing. It's like when you go to McDonald's at 6 a.m. and all the old people are just waiting.
The amount
at
of
the front.
normal
That's why
dive
marriage is
bars around
important.
here that have slot machines is crazy to me. I never saw that before
The
moving
amount of
here.
what was it?
Like dive bars that just have slot machines in there, and that's the only reason people go there.
I've
Very
yet to
weird.
see that, but it is always weird when you go to an airport and they have slot machines. It's still weird for me to see that.
Yeah.
Like when I have a layover in Reno or like in Vegas or something.
Gas
and
But
people are just
recently, two
gambling
people
at the-
won like over $1 million from Wheel of Fortune machines at the
Oh,
airport.
really?
So maybe it pays off once in a while.
All right, guys, before we go, that was all of them, right? I believe, right? Yes, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Share these videos with your friends. We want more people to show up and watch these live streams. Sarah, would you let everyone know where they can find you?
This is camera, right?
Yes.
Casper.com. Thank you for watching the Coffee Culture podcast. We appreciate it. We have new flavors. I just tried the Mr. Boca's pumpkin spice experience today. We all tried it, and it's
an
absolutely
experience.
delicious.
Oh,
It is
wonderful.
actually really good. So go ahead, try it out, and thanks.
All right. Kara.
Yeah, hit me up if you got any questions. Members at timcast.com if you have any questions with your membership or just have
some
anything to tell me.
issues that
Talk
you
to
wanna
me.
vent
Just-
about.
Yeah, I'm your bartender. Holler.
You're just going to start getting emails like, my boyfriend's been distant with me lately. Tell me more.
Airport bartender at timcats.com.
like sometimes I ask him questions, and when he used to give me 5-word answers, now I just get barely more than 2. What does that mean?
What's funny is Kara would be great for that, actually.
Yeah,
She's,
I'm here to listen.
great advice.
Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on Twitter or X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, if you'd like to follow me, actually, first of all, we are going to be doing a review for Gran Turismo on Thursday, so look out for that. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, not X, at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok. I almost screwed up mine and the show's social medias.
Catch me at MySpace.
We're all becoming one here. Yeah.
Brett is at Brett Dasovic.
On both of those platforms. This show is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you'd like to listen to the audio version of this podcast, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you'd like to follow the show on social media, Twitter at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisisPod. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.